Yeah. Woo!
Whoa.
What was that? Woo!
That was a new MME intro.
Nice. That rocks, man.
Woo. That was a great
I worked
intro.
all weekend on putting that together, so you're welcome, everyone. No, that was our good pal Brucifer. I can't put together an intro like that. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, unfortunately, my special guest did not come through. He said he would like to stream. It's just he wasn't ready yet. He wasn't ready yet because he wants to create a channel. You know, he wants to be all prepared. He's kind of new to social media too. Like, he might need a Twitter or Instagram at least or something. You know,
give him my Instagram and Twitter.
I don't even know what is. I have to talk to him off stream to see. I obviously talk to my cousin now on the phone, but I don't know any of those other links. I don't even know his email. So, Batgirl, Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, Max, that Hellboy 2 VHS is so rad. Thank you.
Nice.
I thought it was a cool idea. I always had that in the back of my mind when I started collecting these Korean VHS. And I'm going to put together some more epic Ultimate Collector edition. Hellboy, I love the Hellboy series. This one, it's so beautiful. And that's the thing. Like, I don't have room to collect movie posters. I love movie posters, you know. It's like the high quality of the image here is like a little movie poster, but with a physical cassette in here that actually works. And then I'm going to do the Velcro inside so I could stick a DVD in there. And then on the other side of that little thing, I've found an eBay seller that sells them pretty cheap. Those little sleeves that I could, put in there nicely. They have two sides, so you could put a disc on each side.
I think Degrassi said that's been done already.
No, I'm the first.
Okay.
I didn't know anyone. I didn't get my idea from anyone else.
I didn't say you did.
Degrassi, darn you, Degrassi! Now I'm mad. Where are you, Degrassi? It's been done before. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna do it better than anyone else is gonna, because I have some other ideas for it. Are you serious? Oh, Degrassi! I'm mad now. I thought of a really cool idea. Someone already thought of it. For these that haven't even been released yet, I don't think so, Degrassi.
I can't even understand the cover. What's up?
Well, the other thing I could do is
it's Korean Hellboy.
So I have the DVD full frame, and then the other disc could be Blu-ray widescreen. So you have everything in one. That's cooler than a
what?
Yes.
Options.
Oh boy, Kelly. Whew.
Would you fart? Oh,
yeah,
man.
she's going to town on her Nyla bone, dog bone. She's faced the other way, and her ass is this way.
Is that the hairy bone?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't even put. I still gotta put the title and everything here. Oh man, I forgot to put a thumbnail.
You could have waited a little bit, gone normal time.
No, we're rolling.
Too late now. We're in it. We're in the thick.
Yeah.
Throwing people off, showing up early and shit.
Let me do it. Let me do a temporary thumbnail. I'll fix this later. Who's here?
Oh, that's Perp.
Perp.
Oh, Perp. Ian?
What's he doing?
Hey, Perp.
Hey, it's me, Perp. I am on the show.
Yes. Did you like my Hellboy?
Yes, I did. I find the you putting a DVD of a full screen DVD hilarious.
Why is that hilarious?
Why are you putting a DVD in there? They want the VHS.
It's a combo pack. It's got both.
Can you do a 4K instead? That'd be hilarious too.
What if they don't have VHS players?
Do a 4K and a VHS.
And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm looking at getting a laminator cutter. There's a machine that does those nice cuts. I'm also thinking of like laminating the back. It is like an insert that has all the special features. And some DVDs have it insert in there to just slide right in. I have great ideas.
Speaking of great ideas, did you guys see the new intro?
That's amazing intro.
Oh, I got critiques.
What? Critiques?
Max approved everything.
The metal with the black and white cards, you have like this, like, doesn't go.
What are you talking about?
Because they have like this old fashioned, like, silent film cards, and then you're playing metal on top of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Horror metal.
Brian?
I love it.
Brian?
What?
Brian,
What
the hell, Brian? You fall asleep or something?
No.
It's taking a giant rip.
Yeah, that's what it says.
What'd you think of it, Brian?
It was good, man.
It's great. I like it a lot. Okay, well,
Introtastic.
Let me give me a minute to discuss it. Thank you, Bruce, for putting that together. I really appreciate it. While I'm
thank you.
updating the thumbnail and the title, talks amongst yourselves. Any breaking news?
Barbie passed both Avengers movies domestically.
But which Avengers movies?
Wait, both of them apparently.
The first two. Oh, so not the last two.
No.
Not Infinity War Endgame.
No.
That's great.
The WGA and the AMPTP are still meeting. Still going on.
Good for them.
That's good. Callie, stop. She's already upsetting me.
Dave Filoni says keeping Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn for Ahsoka was due to it being too big of a challenge to replace such an iconic voice.
Oh, cool. I was watching Grace before the stream too, and she said Ahsoka's actually getting good numbers, so don't believe the BS out there. It's doing pretty good for Disney Plus, and their new time. Thank God, Disney finally figured out to debut their series at like 9 p.m. instead of 3 in the morning. It's actually doing good for them,
Oh, and Perp's favorite movie, The Nun 2, has passed 200 million worldwide.
Cool. That's great for horror movies.
Yes.
Also,
let me see here. Sorry. My computer is running slow.
Robert Kirkman.
I'm pretty fast.
Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincibles, says that they hope to have Invincible run 7 to 8 seasons on Amazon.
That's great. It's just that it takes so long for them to make those. How's everyone's weekend?
Tiring.
Yeah.
Today was my Monday, so I had to work.
How did I get a limited on ads already?
I don't know.
Someone. Oh my God.
I'm
updating the.
Sorry.
No. I have nothing that anyone on the panel's done. I agree about something because it also has. I'm already. All right, so I'm updating the tags, and I apologize. I'll be honest. I'm having fun doing things. I'm running ragged though with so many projects. Selling on eBay, helping my parents, my main job. Ooh, I could use it. You know what I'm saying?
You could use a what?
A day off.
Oh. When you take a day off, let me handle the channel.
Hey, you could have told us to go F ourselves when we told you to stream tonight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No.
Screw you. I'm taking the night off.
Let me hold the channel for a night.
No,
let me just hold it for one night.
This is fun to talk to everyone for a little bit, even though if it's not going to be a long stream. I have the stream set up already. Yeah. I got my Blockbuster shirt on. What else am I going to do in my house with my Blockbuster shirt on?
A lot.
I don't want to know.
Role play.
Yeah.
Yeah, role play.
Ooh.
Uh,
Hey, that's a
your
good idea.
DVDs
I
are late,
will-
man.
I will ask.
Oh my god.
Make
Just
sure you
don't
do.
ask.
Ask
Just
on
do
stream.
it. Just do
Yeah.
I
it.
have an extra.
Just
Blue Bear-
no.
We
I have
a
an
deferred
extra
payment
Blockbuster
plan,
shirt too.
if you know what I
Like-
mean.
Blockbuster employees after dark. The
No,
Never-
store's
you never
closed.
whine.
This is gross.
Bomb
store's
chicken, well,
closed.
well.
Yeah.
Brown
I have your
chicken, brown
copy of
cow.
Jerry Maguire.
You had me at a low.
Hey.
Show me the money.
Here's your copy of The English Patient.
Have you seen
What were you
American
talking-
Pie?
Oh yeah. What were you talking about on your stream?
I was looking at some new trailers that came out of movies I'm looking forward to. When Evil Lurks, which is coming out October 6th, limited release. So it's
What's
a
the name?
Halloween movie. Caddyshack.
Oh god.
Get it? Caddyshack instead of Caddyshack. There's a movie called Caddyhack about
Don't.
killer gophers in a
What?
golf course.
Hmm.
The gophers are not CGI, and you could tell.
If I kill all the golfers, they'd lock me up and throw away the key.
Gophers, not golfers. Sorry. Did I say golfers? They're killing all the golfers. The
No, that's
gophers
what-
are killing the golfers.
That's kind of how it was on Caddyshack, or the line
No.
with Bill Murray.
Who directed Caddyshack?
Harold Ramis.
Was that him?
We only have 2 thumbs up, everyone.
We got to do
Help
better
us out.
content then. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
What do you
Good
mean?
content. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's
This
do
is an
something.
amazing content.
So, okay.
Uh-huh.
Do better content.
Yeah, let's do
Wow.
it. Let's bring it. Let's
You just persuaded anyone that I just asked to thumbs up the video not to. Like
You're
the-
right. I apologize.
You're like, I'm like, please support
I was
the
literally
show.
on my stream
Thumbsing-
saying dislike my
thumbsing-
stream.
thumbsing up.
If you're gonna like
And
my
then-
stream,
and
go to
then- and then
Max's
Burp's
channel, like
well,
his.
maybe
instead.
you should make better content before.
Well,
you
it's like
ask.
we're early. It's 13 minutes in. You're already asking. Like, let's just work a little bit before we
That
start
intro-
asking for the thumbs up.
that
You know.
fire intro.
Let's
should've
clock
got the
in.
thumbs-
Let's not be entitled and expect
God
a
damn it.
thumbs up just because.
Oh my god! Now
Keep
I
going.
really think Perp doesn't thumbs up the video right away.
I do.
from
I
all
do it all the time, and I do it on stream. I have proof. I have visual proof.
I haven't yet.
the
I haven't this
intro.
one. You're right, though.
Can I be real with everyone?
I hope you can.
I don't know why people are so weird about the thumbs up. I thumbs up everyone's stuff, and you know what
Yeah.
really pushes?
No,
people's
you just
content?
forget. It's not a thing. You just forget.
No,
Oh my.
no. When you really want to help content creators out and your friends, if
Yeah.
if everyone mass upvotes right away, it reaches new audience.
Hmm.
But if you just go in and like, I'll see what they say before I thumbs it up, and then I forget, you know.
All right.
Am I-
you,
you're
you win the debate. I
Producer
thumbed it up.
Lucifer, you're cringing because I'm.
I thumbed it up.
Or just
I'm
show
whining.
up and talk a bunch of crap.
I'm whining.
No, it's just that people get drunk and they post stupid things.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, I
you
hate
didn't know that?
That's
You don't post stuff like this in group chats.
where? In my-
Where? I'll show you.
No.
Not on here.
He's gonna be like John Hammond. I'll show you.
Is it in my group chat?
No.
Oh,
If it was in your group chat, I would have been sent it to you.
okay. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. I was just double checking mine. All right. Well, I have something else cool to show
Yes.
that I haven't shown yet. I got it a little bit ago.
Hell yeah.
the suspense is killing me, Max.
Good God, Brian, a master of enthusiasm.
Oh.
What?
Whoa.
He said this. The
Shots
suspense,
fired.
the suspense is killing me.
I know.
You're being an ass. You're being an ass. If you don't show enthusiasm, the audience isn't going to. Okay.
All 7 of you, get jazzed, hype, get hype.
007.
I'm gonna quit it. Brian, I'm gonna quit the stream right now. I don't even want to
Can't
stream
quit.
anymore.
Oh, y'all ready for this?
You can't quit, Max. Sorry, I'm not letting you.
Okay, so lack of enthusiasm, and then you decide to sing or do a tune. Okay.
I'm there, bro.
Awesome.
I'm there.
Master.
I
No.
have an excuse.
What?
I was learning how to play it,
Oh.
and so then I saved so I could redo it.
I don't know if you.
Hey, Max, look at your your
What
DM.
happened?
Oh my God,
Something's going on.
Brian.
No, it's not that. It's she's doing an RPG, but she keeps redoing the save when the decision she made doesn't go. And I'm telling her, it's like the game. You leave with the choice you make and keep playing the game.
It's just a mini game.
All right, whatever,
It's a mini game.
whatever.
They have
game.
they have hardcore dilemmas at the Perp household over a video game RPG storylines.
No,
and
it's
decisions.
bull crap. If you don't like the decision you made, and then you go to your
Oh
past
my.
save to redo the decision. What
It's
what
a
game are you?
mini game.
What are you playing? What are you
Fallout.
Mini game.
playing? Okay. Okay.
Just chill out, everyone.
Fallout.
It's
Everyone
just a
chill
game.
out. Everyone chill out. It's just a mini game.
You're
It's not a
acting
big
like
deal.
this changes your life course, your
Yes,
real life.
Yes, it does. Apparently,
It's a video game life.
Because you can't do that in real life.
You don't have save points in real life.
Yeah, you don't. That's true. You don't have save points in real life. He said.
You know,
Hey,
Thing I have
Brian,
save
check
points
Discord.
in my game.
She said it's a good point. It's a good thing she has save points in her game, so she wins the debate. Max, stop trying to debate my girlfriend. Stop.
I give up.
It's not
I
classy.
submit. I submit. I'm not trying to.
Wow, you're very
I was trying to help
submissive.
her chill out.
That's close. That's close.
I'm just
to,
giving her crap. I'm the one.
That's close.
I'm
to
the bad
being
one.
C word.
You are. What?
Yeah.
The C word.
Right,
What?
left.
All right, moving on to my VHS. Look at this, Brucifer.
Is it Jumanji?
Oh, I forgot it's green.
No, it's clear. It's a ghost.
It's a green
It's
background.
a ghost
but
of VHS.
Let me turn off the green screen for a second.
No.
No, you're gonna ruin the illusion, Max.
Whatever. All right. I'll have to do another video. It's the Invincible Iron Man VHS tape. What it is, it's a really old school cartoon with a really nice, clear intro from Stan Lee. And it looks like a comic. It also has the 20th century logo.
Yeah,
And a
comics don't have
clamshell?
that.
Isn't that great, Brucifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What year is it from? Sorry.
I think they released these in the 90s, but the cartoon's really old.
60s.
Yeah.
Late
60s.
Damn.
The Death of Tony Stark, the Crimson Dynamo.
Spoilers.
I'll take it.
One episode.
Yeah, but it's a really cool collectible, and it's got an intro with Stan
It's
Lee.
one episode. How long is that? Like 11 minutes?
Probably like 20 minutes, 30
Yeah,
minutes.
22 minutes. I bet.
It's got like a 10-minute, maybe less intro from Stan Lee.
Oh,
It wasn't expensive. I just thought it was really cool.
it is cool.
You can't
dig
tell
it.
the coolness though because it's green.
Well, I mean, it looks cool like that too.
Yeah, maybe there's 2 episodes.
Mm.
The Death of Tony Stark plus the Crimson Dynamo. I don't know. I'll have to
I
watch.
don't know.
Mm.
I dig it, man. That looks cool.
So you didn't. I thought you were going to lose your mind over my
With-
Hellboy 2 idea.
What?
But
No,
you're
you got to do it
laughing
in 4K. I'll lose my mind if you do it in 4K. 4K and a VHS. So based. No one's ever done that. No one's ever done that, Max. No one has ever done. They've done the DVD and VHS.
The
But a
DVD was
4K?
$4.
A 4K.
I don't
with
have
the
money for-
VHS. Sign me up.
The 4K is like $30,
Yeah.
and
No
I had
one's doing
store
it,
credit.
Max.
No one's doing it.
No one.
But did
not
someone
one
actually
person.
do the VHS and DVD?
Yes.
combo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn
They
you,
do that.
Degrassi.
Yeah.
Damn you, Degrassi.
No one's doing that. Or a VHS and a video game.
Maybe that's what got me demonetized. The damning Degrassi.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn you
That's
again,
true.
Degrassi.
Wait,
wasn't
you
me.
demonetized?
I instantly got limited ads.
For
Right.
what?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Was it
I
me?
don't-
I'm staying away from everything.
No, it
It was
wasn't.
me.
No, it wasn't.
Who was it?
I came on cussing already at the gate. YouTube don't like that.
Let me see if I.
Someone's running
Oh.
a vacuum cleaner.
Kelly, please
Press
stop.
R2 to hold hands. Horror movies and comedies will always make money. Tell that to Pluto Nash, Anthony.
I was gonna see if my video. Darn it! I messed it up. I had another video ready to go too, and it didn't upload. Oh well. All right. Well, let's at least talk about Sylvester Stallone
Sly.
because.
And a horrible movie.
Well, no, the best of Sylvester Stallone. There's an article out.
Is it best?
Best Sylvester Stallone movies
Dude,
of all
Perp and I
time.
were talking about it, bro. It's Demolition Man, Demolition Man, and more Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Like,
Shakes my head twice.
It's Demolition Man.
Upside down.
It's
No.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring up
100%.
the article.
Followed by
only,
Judge Dredd.
I only recently watched Demolition Man, and I was distracted
I am
while I was making content. I have to watch it again. All right, so let's bring up the article here, and then there's a poll. Very
A
next
pool?
level.
What kind of pool?
Rob Schneider, guys. Come on now.
Internet poll on a website.
A pole?
Yes.
Triple pole?
Yeah.
Gee, buddy.
I'm unsure where I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Rocky. The first Rocky is just amazing.
Is there an option for none of the above?
That's all right.
Are you serious, bro?
Yes, bro.
You don't
That's
like
called, no.
Sylvester
That
Stallone?
no, he gets
No.
Stop or my mom will shoot for that comment. That's
Bro,
his favorite.
if it wasn't for the Fonz, we wouldn't have the Rocky movies. Think about it.
Yeah. So Rocky is
What?
disqualified.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Rocky's disqualified.
Dude,
Can't
look
pick
at
Rocky.
What does the Fonz have to do with Rocky?
He produced that first movie.
Henry
Look at it,
Winkler?
dude. You know, Irving Winkler is his brother.
Oh,
It's
Irving
Winkler.
Winkler. Okay.
But Henry Winkler hooked him up, though. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he did pump a lot, and that's who Sylvester Stallone's mad at right now. I watched Grace's video. That didn't trigger my head. Oh yeah. He must be related to Henry Winkler. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. Thank you, Brian. I'm
You're
the
welcome.
master of wrong tonight.
I am full of useless information.
No,
He
that
also
was
said
good.
something
I will
Dad.
be here all week. Well, you know why they call it trivia, right?
First
Trivial-
Blood.
trivial-
What about
trivial
Last Blood?
knowledge? Trivial knowledge, right?
Trivial
No one likes
knowledge,
Last
man.
Blood.
I like the one with Brian Dennehy.
That was First Blood.
That's what I'm talking about, Anthony. It's not as bad, but it's not as good as Joe says either.
What about when Dracula went to Hot Topic?
two.
That was a good scene.
I
Was that
like
Blade Trinity?
the Blade Trinity.
Do any of you use
I like
save
Parker
points in
Posey
your
in
real
it.
life?
Huh?
She was
Yeah.
great.
Do you have any of you have save points in your real life? That would be good too if you had something really amazing
Hell
happen. You
no.
could go back and just relive it all the time.
No.
How could we make this work, Perp? Make a movie called Save Points.
Save
I will-
point.
You know, like they've done Groundhog Day. They
They did it already, Max. Click.
Click, but Click
Click.
doesn't have save points. You just turn the remote. It's about
They sort of did that with Run Lola Run, where it was about her needing to stop her boyfriend from like a bank robbery or something, and she would always get killed, and then she would restart. So that's technically a save point. Run
Yeah.
Lola Run.
And then you got to do it in like the first person shooter style, like that one movie.
Yeah. Hardcore Henry.
Yeah.
with
There's a horror one.
Expendables. With Expendables, we're likely bringing close to. What the hell's going on?
Every one of us is expendable.
Oh, I'm getting bids
One push is all you need.
on my Funkos. When does it end?
You
That's my
have.
philosophy.
Oh, one ended already.
Oh no, I won $1,000.
Someone put Italian
No,
Stallion. They
he
have to
didn't.
be. Oh my god.
Don't tell me. I'll look later. Unless I should show it on.
Give me. Let me see. 10 minutes, and I'll have slides ready for you.
Okay.
Yeah, save
shush,
point.
please.
Oh yeah, that's another save point movie.
Save point. It's
He-
called Save Point.
No, Edge of Tomorrow is technically a save point, like Run Lola Run. Run Lola
Okay.
Run came first, though. That was my go-to.
All right. Callie,
Sorry,
you're ruining
Max.
the Sylvester Stallone segment. I gotta put you away. I'll be right back.
Your big break is a Hollywood pitch, man. It's not going to work out this time.
Aw.
All right, I got better ideas. All right, so now,
Wow, here we go.
found footage. No,
The hell is Fist?
From Max's basement.
yes. He may or may not have a special room.
Am I hearing like a UFO in the background somewhere?
It's close enough. It's a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, close enough.
Somebody is cleaning the floors.
Yay.
Callie.
Callie.
I think somebody's
Copland. I remember Copland.
Yeah.
You getting sick, perp?
No, I've been talking a lot all day. What's his worst movie?
Slanging parts. Man.
Probably Fist, because I never heard of it.
Copland.
Ooh.
That movie was pretty bad. And he was
Worst
really out of
movie?
shape in that
His
one.
third philosophy.
Rocky 5's rough. Hey, Rhea.
I didn't
Hello.
know there was a Rocky 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Rocky
No,
4
not
is the
really.
greatest film
Judge
of all
Dredd.
time.
There's also a sequel to
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and me, Bruce, Rhea, and my special guest may still have a stream in the future. We'll see. Okay,
What's his worst movie? All of them.
Oh my god. You said I'm the bad with one bad takes. Sylvester Stallone, you may not like him personally, but he's done some good movies.
I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
Who knows him personally in this panel or in the chat?
I mean, not know, like you might not like some people don't even like him that he's so aggressive.
that he's
with the
Italian?
Rocky.
That's racist.
No, with the Rocky
Oh,
license, Grace was throwing some shade at him. Okay, so let's Italian Stallion, 1970,
what's that about?
Death Race 2000, Rocky, Fist, Paradise Alley, Rocky 2, Nighthawks,
Nighthawks.
First Blood,
First
Rhinestone,
Blood.
First Blood Part 2,
First Blood Part 2. That was written by
Rocky
James
4,
Cameron.
Cobra, Over
Cobra.
the Top,
Over
Rambo
the Top.
3, Lock Up, Tango and Cash,
Tango and
Oh.
Cash.
Over the
Rocky
Top is when he
5.
signed on with Cannon.
Oscar, Stop
Oscar.
or My Mom Will Shoot, Cliffhanger,
Classic.
Demolition
That's
Man.
Voltaire's favorite, by the way. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Voltaire cannot stop talking about that movie. I can't believe how much that man
The
loves that movie.
Specialist, Judge Dredd,
The Specialist.
Assassins,
Demolition
Daylight,
Man.
Good old Sharon Stone.
Cop
Assassins. Assassins
Ants.
was written by the Wachowskis before Bound and The Matrix.
Get Carter, Driven.
Get
I
Carter.
never saw Driven. I got to watch that one.
That's by Rennie Harlan.
Spy Kids 3D, Game Over. That was DL. Rocky Balboa. I really like Rocky Rambo. That was
Rambo
also good.
is awesome.
The Expendables 1
Every
and 2.
one of us is expendable.
Bullet to the Head. I never saw that one. That's with
Jason Momoa. They have a machete fight.
Escape Plan. I actually like Grudge Match. It's like sort of like another Rocky movie. The Expendables, Creed, and Creed 2, both really good movies too. Samaritan, Expendables,
Samaritan.
I'm
other.
gonna go with the original Rocky.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
It's gonna be that one, but it should be Demolition Man, and everyone knows it.
It's Demolition Man, dude. We know this.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Rocky, First Blood, and Demolition Man. Cliffhanger. I gotta rewatch Cliffhanger. People say it's good.
That movie was not very good.
I never really liked it that much.
It's a little slow, yeah.
I still
But some parts they have some really good, some really
I
epic
want my
scenes.
money back
I will
still.
admit that.
From Cliffhanger?
Yes.
You've never seen Demolition Man.
He thought it was alive.
I saw.
and he was like, nope,
I would
I'm out.
watch the whole VHS,
Pretty much.
but I was like cleaning and stuff, so I didn't like sit down and watch.
Demolition Man is genius, Max. Genius.
To who?
To
Blind?
everyone that
Damn.
with a brain, okay?
Jeez, man.
I said
Mr.
it.
Negativity down here.
I'm just playing a Brian.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, you have to be funny first off.
Can-
Okay.
Ooh.
I think I'm quite funny.
Looking.
And on top of that, Crazy Joe's here. Ooh.
Smelling.
No!
Buddy.
No, can you believe these bad takes? But are you still going to be Bruce's friend? He said, "How many Or do you realize, Bruce,
Flustered.
that
You're so
Joe sent
flustered,
me
Max.
many of those Sylvester
He got all
Stallone
flustered.
tapes,
That's funny.
and he's going to send me many more in the future. No, I'm just kidding.
What are we
Alright.
talking about?
Sylvester
Um,
Stallone.
What's your favorite Sly
The
Stallone
views
movie?
of the views
Oh,
of MMA
Rocky.
is not what public service. Damn it!
No one
Oh,
thinks Demolition Man is genius. Oh my
Oh,
god!
Demolition Man's amazing. That's a
Yes,
phenomenal movie.
thank you. The three seashells, man.
Yeah.
End it.
Yeah,
But he had a
right.
good time with it. He
The
had a good
genius
time with it.
premise.
I'll see anything Stallone's in. You put Stallone in a movie, you got my money.
You
Well,
seen
here,
Taxi
let-
2 or
let's-
3?
Let's look at the results, Joe, for you, since you just. I was going to move on, but we're also light on topics.
Mhm.
Results with Joe. Let's see if you agree with this, Joe. Rocky,
Yep.
number 1. First Blood, Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, which I got to rewatch.
Cliffhanger's too high. Cliffhanger's all right.
Yeah.
But too high.
Rocky 4, Copland. I got to rewatch Copland.
Copland's good.
Rocky
The
Four's
Expendables
great.
2, Rambo Part 2.
Rocky 4 is way too high. Rocky 4 is way too high. Rocky 6 and Rocky 2 and Rocky 3 should all be higher than Rocky 4.
Rocky Balboa is Rocky 6.
Rambo
right?
should be
Yeah.
higher than all
Yeah.
those.
Rambo was actually really good.
Rambo
Rocky
was
2,
awesome.
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash with
It's a
Kurt
good
Russell.
one. Yeah.
Rocky 3. I actually think Creed should be a little higher too. The first Creed was perfect.
Yep.
Cobra,
Cobra is a classic.
Cobra's great.
Italian Style Assassins, Stop
Italian
When My
Sand,
Mama
also
Shoots,
known as Studs and Tina Throw a Party.
Judge Dredd, Nighthawks, Over the
Party.
Top. I still got to watch Over the
Over the
Top.
Top.
You
Over
said.
the top. Over
Rocky
the top.
5, Oscar,
It's like Rocky with arm wrestling.
Yeah, over the top.
Expendables,
Gotta say it like
Rambo
that.
3, Daylight, Rhinestone, Ants,
What's
Get
Rhinestone?
Carter,
He was in
Death
Ants.
Race. Yeah.
Mhm. He was
I
in
don't
Ants.
remember that.
Yeah, he was one of the
Fist,
generals. in it.
Driven. Is Driven any good?
Driven's all right. I don't like Bullet to the Head. I saw Bullet to the Head
I
in the
didn't see
theater.
that
I didn't
one.
care for it.
Watch
Okay.
John Woo's Bullet in the Head.
Is this a good list?
Really good.
I mean, it's all
Yeah.
right. I that's not
It's good
not
dish.
my order by any means.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Just
put
the Rocky
Demolition Man
movies
up.
alone are
Yeah.
wrong.
I gotta rewatch Tango and Cash too.
Can we get like a Charlie Sheen list or something like that? Like Hot Shots Part 2.
Charlie Sheen list.
That's what is that?
Get all the Sheens. Get
Major
all the
Leagues and
Sheens.
the Hot
All the
Shots.
Sheens
That's
and
gonna be
Emilio
the full-
Estevez tier list.
War.
Yes,
It's
yes.
fantastic.
All the
The
Sheens
Sheens.
together. Martin Sheen, Charlie
Well,
Sheen.
Judge
Right?
Dredd
Estevez,
is great. Judge
Create
Dredd is
yourself
great.
a tier
People-
list for the Sheens.
Oh, who had the best Vietnam movie? Was
Joe
it
Estevez.
Martin Sheen or was it Charlie Sheen?
It was what's his name? Chuck Norris. Missing in Action 2.
That's true. Platoon was amazing. I love that movie.
I love
Uh,
Platoon. I
have
think
you
that's my
heard,
favorite.
Joe, the strike's
Nom
over?
movie.
No, we don't know if it's over.
Dear Grandma. Dear Grandma.
Hopefully the strike
Been
is
out in the
ending.
shit.
Dear
for
God,
35
make me a
years.
bird so I can fly,
Days.
fly far from here.
Ooh,
Dear God, make me a
read
bird.
option was a
Like
bad
that.
idea.
Oh,
Fly far
Jenny.
from here. You can sit here if you want, Joe.
All right.
Seats taken.
See, taken.
Seats
Gave you a
taken.
chance to be a cop and you blew it.
We should say random lines. In the
It's the
middle.
best line from Copland.
Oh yeah, that was Robert De Niro with the awesome
Yeah.
Robert De Niro mustache. That man needs to have more mustaches.
I
in movies.
gave
Let me
you a
just say.
chance to be a
So-
cop and you blew it.
Blew it.
What happened at the box office this weekend?
Your mom.
Absolutely nothing. You got now. We know you have nothing.
Crazy Joe went to see Dumb Money. That's what happened.
The Nun 2 was number 1 again.
Was
Yeah.
it really?
Yes.
All right, look, here's the deal. I am so on the fence with the Nun 2 because I love the Conjuring universe. I'm a big fan
Yes.
of the Conjuring universe.
Yes.
But A, I hated the Nun. B, it's directed by Michael Chavez, who was the director of The Curse of La Llorona, which I did not like, and
Yeah.
The Conjuring 3, which I wasn't crazy about. So we've already got a sequel to a movie I didn't care for by a director I don't care for, but it's part of a universe I like. And I'm sitting there like, I kind of want to see it, and I kind of don't care. I'm really on the fence. This is a case where I'm like Max. I'm more interested in the post-credit stinger than the actual movie.
They have those in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
They tried to
Apparently,
Black Adam.
Apparently, Ed and Lorraine Warren are in the post credits of the Nun 2, setting up Conjuring 4.
Oh my lord.
Well,
boy.
let's look at the box. It was a disaster.
Okay.
People aren't showing up for unless it's a
For
really
Expendables
appealing movie.
4.
Come on, it should at least make
Expendables
20, 25
4.
million.
That movie just
Expendables
screams red box,
4.
dude.
And not only that,
No.
the decline, if you look at the box office, the decline is steep from the very first one to this one. It was gonna happen. This was bound to happen.
It's been
Didn't even make-
over a decade since Expendables 3, and people didn't really like Expendables 3 too much.
Dude, people didn't even like the first one.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think the first one was well
They
received,
should get
and the second
Chad
one's
Stahelski for number 5.
I think the first one was so poorly received that the second one suffered when the second one was clearly
the second
better.
one. I think the second one was peak Expendables. That was
Yes, I know, but it did worse, and I think that's
Does
because of
this
the
do
first one.
good? Out of the states, like international? Does it do good in other countries?
Probably not.
I'm sure they
Probably
do
does good on rentals.
I'm sure they
I
do
mean,
fine. I'm sure they do fine. These aren't look at the stars. These aren't expensive stars. Like these
No,
aren't.
they're not. That was
Yeah.
the problem. They each Expendables, like at least the last one had Wesley Snipes and Mel Gibson. Adding Megan Fox and 50 Cent ain't gonna move the needle. You need like the other action guys. You need a bigger.
You know who
bigger
they
name.
need? I've
Need
been
Danny
saying this.
Glover.
I've been saying this since Expendables 1. They need Mr. T.
Yeah.
Bring in Mr. T, man. Bring in Mr. T and Carl Weathers. You've already got Dolph Lundgren. You surround Rocky with all his former opponents. Box office gold, man.
Well, look at this. I tried to find worldwide box office. It's not there yet, but look at the
True,
first
Carl
one.
Weathers is pretty
That's
spry.
not bad. In Expendables 2, 315 million.
Yeah, but they all fell off, dude. We saw this because it was Blue Jays.
Yeah, but
question yesterday.
yeah,
Oh, the second one actually did better overseas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Expendables
That was the
3.
best one. They
Yeah.
got Chuck Norris made a Chuck Norris joke in the movie. That
Well,
was
they
the
actually got Schwarzenegger to fire a gun. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you should have done that in the first one.
Hey Max, I'm ready for you.
What?
One
I'm ready
second.
for you.
Let me fix this really quick. All right. So Max has some pops up on eBay that just sold.
Ooh.
most.
So Max wanted me to surprise him with what they sold for.
Well, ask who. What do you think sold the most? Ask everyone else. I'm not gonna guess because I kind of know.
What do you think sold the most?
I would say the winged monkey.
Perp. Brian, what do you think? Okay. Well, thank you, Bruce, for putting this together.
All right. The Wicked Witch. $810.
Oh! That was more than I was
Damn.
expecting. Woo! All right.
The Winged Monkey. Same price.
Really?
Yep.
Those
Wow.
that's really high.
I thought the winged monkey was going to go for more.
And for Metallic Dumbo, 572.
All right. That's all right.
Not bad.
No.
Not a bad change.
Now people are selling these for like
Over $2,000 for
1,000.
3 pops.
Yeah. Thank you for putting that together. So people are selling these for like close to 1,000 each. Buy it now, but they sit there forever and no one
Yep.
ever buys them. So I did auction just to see how close I could get. So I'm very happy with that.
Nice. And I could put these on my Friday slides.
Cool. I held on to these for a while. I still have 2 really rare pops that I'm not getting rid of, or if it's a really rainy day. But I
Okay.
have.
I think that Jacob has breaking news, if that's true.
Okay, we'll research. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hallelujah.
So
It's true.
Thank you, Bruce. I will get so many VHS tapes with these. I'm just kidding. Cool. I'll have to.
Yes. The
have to see if-
Variety's reporting it. Hollywood Reporter's reporting it.
Okay, cool.
So, yes. Wait, one more source? Always 3 sources.
Wikipedia.
No.
Bounding into comics.
What? Is that a thing?
Bounding into
I think they're called shitting into diapers.
Oh,
uh,
sorry.
Discussing Films just said they reached a deal.
All right, well, let's bring up an article. We'll see which.
This is huge.
This is great. This is really good news. I'm very happy. All right, and then after this, I'll do the mail.
Breaking news!
Okay.
Short.
Breaking news.
All right, let me see.
Perfect timing, man. Just in time for the news. All
I
right.
don't have an article on it yet, though. Maybe there's Twitter. Did anyone see an article on it yet?
For what?
They're writing it right now. It literally is breaking news.
Well, they kind of know ahead of time to write the article with maybe like a few lines to change, and then when it's official, they release it. Come on,
So the writer's going back to
Not
records?
anymore.
Hollywood
Not
Reporter
Legacy
has
Media.
it? Hollywood Reporter. Let me see.
Hollywood Reporter, Max. Come on.
I said Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Discussing Films.
The biggest star in Expendables. Tony. No,
Tony
it's
Danza.
still
Never-
Sly,
I've
dude.
never
Sly got
heard of either of
nominated
those
like the
people.
other year for an Academy Award. What are you talking about?
I mean, Megan Fox is a bigger star than those people.
All right, let me bring this up. Hollywood Reporter. Damn my jank ass computer. I'm looking at my frozen self when I try to share an article. Oh my god. All right, here we go.
You know, it's gonna be fun. What's gonna be funny is when the union members ratified his contract. The next day, all the scripts will be completed.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe it's going to be some of the best scripts ever because they had more time than,
Yeah.
I hope so. Jesus, man. If we go back to the same old crappy writing, dude, I'm calling shenanigans.
That wasn't
Well, what
necessarily
crappy writing?
the
We've had
writer's
some
fault.
pretty good writing.
Brian.
in
The
recent
same
years.
amorphous crappy writing that gets complained about on this channel every night.
Yes.
Yeah, but
But
what
it's
crappy
may not
writing? What
always
we-
Writing
be
don't
the
get complained on
writers.
this channel. People do.
I'm not going to be specific because no one else is. Okay,
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember.
But no,
complaining about any writing.
Joe, when you're on this show and someone, not you, but someone is complaining, what's their go-to? Oh, it's bad writing.
Sorry.
Bad writing. Yeah.
I
Okay?
always hear too funny. Oh, there's jokes. Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah.
I
good.
agree.
No,
there's
but
some-
those
I
confused
agree.
when you say that. When you ask them what's bad about the writing, they'll say it's too funny, but not funny.
I agree that there is some bad writing, Brian. I have a difference of opinion on how we get to that point. I don't put it on the writers. I put it on the management and decisions to get to that point where, oh, you have to write this right now. Like when they change their mind on like a superhero movie. And that's where some of these superhero movies have been really dumb lately, is because they change their mind on what's going to happen with the whole universe
I don't think
up
we've
to
had
the
any,
last.
No.
I don't think we've had any dumb ones lately.
Okay.
I can't think of the last bad superhero movie I've seen. Like the worst was probably Morbius, and I didn't even think that was that bad.
Mhm.
Barbie did not have bad writing. DL, stop it. Get in here.
Well,
Otherwise,
Well, Sean, you're welcome to come on if you want to share any info.
I think the
Oh
writing.
God, DL.
No, it didn't. It had, and it's when it gets nominated, you should feel embarrassed for saying that.
Yeah, Barbie.
When it gets nominated for best
I wasn't
screenplay.
embarrassed. I love.
No,
the
I
way
know.
DL
I'm giving him crap.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not a fan of Promising Young Woman, and that won
Really?
best screenplay. Yeah, I
Man,
know. And
I-
You're
you would
not a
think that's my
fan of
jam.
Promising Young Women.
I know.
That's
You would
really
think
messed
me,
up.
out of everyone who loves like awesome female kick-ass protagonists, would have liked that movie. And I love some scenes. I really did. But I was like screaming at the screen by the end of it. I was just like, I can't believe you're doing this, lady. You're gonna get killed. Throughout the whole movie, I was saying that.
I love that movie so much. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to, and it's going to come up under your name, Max, because I'm doing it right here in the chat.
Well,
I am going
I'm heading
to
out,
right
guys.
now.
All right, thank you, Bruce. Thanks for putting.
Love
that,
you, Christopher.
It's been a long
Putting that
weekend.
pop
Sorry,
guys.
guys.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hey,
for
hey,
the
your
intro and putting that pop image together. That
and
made
your
me
show,
happy. I didn't
your
even know
show.
the prices. Yeah.
And let me plug his show tomorrow because it seems
Yes.
like so much fun that I wasn't gonna do it, but he told me what's the itinerary, and now I wanna go in on that. So he's gonna have a fun show tomorrow. Everyone. See you, Bruce.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely
Checking
Monday.
the work.
Monday Madness on the Kingdom of Nerds is a hot show.
It's the hottest show right now, I think, in terms of like how
well, that's
fast it
because
came
it's
up
the
and
only show on Monday. No.
the perp's gonna change that.
Okay.
I want to get back to what Brian said, that he thinks the writing has been bad lately. I happen to I disagree. I think we more or less have always gotten the same quality of writing in terms of in movies forever now. I think since like from what I can remember, like the 60s, 70s, every year there's a handful of movies that are liked for the most part. Some of them last, till the next year and decades on. It's always been more or less the same give or take amount of movies.
I disagree.
year.
I
Okay,
think the
first off-
writing's been especially bad lately, but I don't put that on the writers.
I'm
and I
not-
actually
I'm not a
think
writer.
that justified the
Hang on.
strike.
Hang on just a second. We're gonna celebrate for just a moment here. I love Promising Young Woman so much that right now, one of you in the chat is about to get a free digital code to own this movie in Ultra HD.
Damn.
So it's
What
gonna
about
come up.
VHS?
It's gonna come up under Max's name. Whoever can redeem it the fastest, wherever you redeem your movies, here it comes.
It's a very interesting movie. I didn't personally like it, but it is like it has a lot of great moments. I'm actually kind of disappointed.
Well, we
as a
have
whole,
Sean
because I
here.
like so
Sean, are
many
you
scenes.
happy? I know this affects you personally.
I mean, it's really. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good news, especially on a day like today. I had put some posts out earlier. My stepdad's got cancer and he's in hospice, and
Oh,
he's
sorry.
probably not going to make it through the night. And so
Oh, boy.
I
Sorry to
I
hear.
drove 2 hours back home tonight. Said my goodbyes. I spent a day or so with him, and so like to get back and get this news is a breath of fresh air, and I hope that SAG can get it going quickly too. I'm curious to see what the language is going to be. One of the holdups for the WGA was what they call the mini writing room, and how they wanted it to go away. And what the mini writing room is, there's writer's block on set. So they call a random writer that they've contracted. They send him a text with the script, literally the text of the line, and say, can you rework this? They text it back and then they pay them. That's called a mini writer's room. And it's so frustrating because the writers are like, they're not part of the actual creating of the show. They're just, someone's got a writer's block, and they send them either an email or a text and say, can you fix this? And their contribution is just like this much. They barely make any money, and they want that to go away, because one of the problems is you used to have writers on set, and now they're not letting the writers be on set to troubleshoot and fix things like they used to, because they don't want to pay a salary. So for example, if you write a script, you've written that script, but if you're a writer on set, you get on payroll. So when you get on payroll, you get an hourly wage for the 12-hour day that you're working, plus benefits, plus 401k. And see, they don't want to do that. They would rather pay the person as a subcontractor $500 to do a quick rewrite, and never let them get that hourly wage where they're literally on set weeks at a time, and it's an actual job. And that, if you get rid of the mini writing rooms, then you have to bring people back as employees to not only write the scripts. And so, like, to give you an example, a TV show, one episode is about, depending on the writer, like bottom line, bare bones money is like $35,000 for that particular writer. Now, if you get 3 writers on that episode, they split the $35,000. They don't get $35,000 a piece. So if you have 4 writers on a show, or you have 5 writers on a show, you take that $35,000, then they're literally writing an episode and getting $5,000. And see, people don't understand how that structure works. And so that's why a lot of times showrunners will write episodes as well, cutting out other writers. So not only they're getting paid as a showrunner, but they're also getting the full fee for the script for the episode. And so there used to be where you'd have a table of 10 people in a room, and what you'd do is you'd say, okay, you really like this character in Expendables, the Dolph Lundgren character. Will you write his dialogue and his scenes that he's going to be in solo with somebody else, and then we're going to write Stallone stuff over here, and then someone maybe a couple of women writers will get together and they'll write Megan Fox's like dialogue and tweak it to make it more feminine, because sometimes writers who are from the male perspective sometimes can't capture the women's perspective, and then everybody comes together in a team and they do the readings, and they figure out and they tweak together, and then you get a really good solid script. Now see, that has not been happening in Hollywood for a long time. And so they wanted to bring back the actual writers' rooms where people could, crank out
thing
all of these things. And see, that's why we've had really shitty scripts in Hollywood. And the way they crank them
and
out
rushing
now,
into production, there's all kind of factors. Like
absolutely.
I really think the writing has been bad, but I just think it's the environment.
I mean,
rushing into movies, like a lot of these movie universes, they are like a factory. Okay, start shooting. It's script's not done yet. Go. And then like you said, they don't pay someone to be on hand to make adjustments when something happens,
And I'll tell you this from the show that I work on with Jenny Han, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I did season 1. We did season 2. Season 2 just dropped on Amazon, and season 3 will be filming in March, and I'll be going back to work. I haven't worked since November of last year. So I went from making $100,000 more a year. I've only made like $12,000 this year.
Shit.
Okay. And I've had to dip into the 401k. I've had to dip into savings and literally exhaust that. And so, but just to give you an idea, we've been hearing October would be the month that everything gets fixed. And that's been inside, information where I talk to people in LA, and they talk and they go, okay, October is probably going to be when everything goes back to normal. Now, normal doesn't mean everything's going to start going right away. Now, in my hometown, a week and a half ago, they were scouting for the new Scream film. They shot not the last one, but the one prior to that here in Wilmington, the one that Nev Campbell came back for. And they're supposed to shoot it in Canada, but also shoot it here in Wilmington, North Carolina, because there are certain spots in town you can't replicate in Canada, which is where Nev Campbell jogs along the riverfront. That riverfront's here. You can't replicate that in Canada. And so they're going to shoot a small amount of the movie, the new Scream film, back here again. So they were scouting a week and a half ago. There's another movie that was scouting. Before that, Holly Berry has a new feature film that is supposed to open up offices very soon here. They actually got a waiver when, you keep hearing about these waivers. And so that should be going. And I'll probably get on one of those movies. And then by the time that wraps, I'll be starting Summer I Turned Pretty season 3.
Ooh,
but what I was really getting at was Jenny Han wrote the 3 novels for The Summer I Turned Pretty, and each book is supposed to be like a season, although the second book only covered a portion of the second season only covered a portion of that book. They are already telling us it could go to 4 seasons, but again, that's just, we're hearing it through the grapevine, so that's not concrete. But Jenny Han is not only the executive producer of the show, but she wrote every episode of the show, and she actually wrote all 3 seasons prior to going into production on season 1. We were told that on season 1. Hey, we've already got 3 seasons written. It's already been greenlit from Amazon for 3 seasons. So even though they didn't announce it to the public, they told the crew. So now her being, the reason it shut down was because not only is she the writer of the show and the executive producer, but she couldn't be a producer and be the writer on the show. So that's why we started up in July. They started doing construction on the sound stages and building sets. We were supposed to start shooting sometime in July, and they pulled the plug, did a pause on it. And, the thing is, like the studios like Amazon, they got more money than God, but they've been renting studio space with sets built on it at something like $10,000 a week all this time. And that's what's been going on with a lot of shows that already had sets built. They just kept the leases on all the soundstage space. So these studios, not only were they hemorrhaging money, they're having to be committed to lease agreements to get the show going, or the shows they already had existing going.
Budgets of these shows are bigger now.
They're going to be, yeah. But I'm sure they'll figure out a way to write off all of these kind of things in the end of their fiscal years, because they're going to say it's a loss of what they were going to invest. in the project. So they're not going to be hurting. These billionaires aren't going to be hurting at all.
Mm.
But we couldn't move forward because Jenny Han is a writer on the show, and she couldn't tweak things as she went if we needed to tweak stuff.
So can they actually? I have 2 questions for you, and then we'll get to the rest of the panel too. Now they could kind of start pre-production before the actor stuff is resolved, right? Because the directors,
kind of, sort of, like, for example, we've already been told that Summer I Turned Pretty will not go into. They'll open up production offices in January. They'll do 5 weeks of construction between the end of January and all of February, and we will start filming in March because we're too close to the holidays. And see, that's the thing. All these shows aren't going to ramp back up because it's hard to do schedules for actors, even though they haven't worked, and producers and all these department heads that fly in from everywhere when they want to go home for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Let's think about James Gunn. James Gunn could, besides hiring more actors, he could start getting things more involved.
Do we have to think about James Gunn?
Yes, in a positive
Every
way. In a positive way, he could
Okay.
start Superman Legacy.
I'm joking.
He
You're
could
right.
start moving some wheels on Superman Legacy besides hiring more people.
I
more
mean,
actors.
I'm sure as a producer, they're
He's
already
really been
looking.
doing it
They're
the whole
already
time,
looking at
but-
costumes. They're doing storyboards.
Yeah.
They're
Max.
doing animatics. They're doing all of that stuff already on that project. And the thing is, James Gunn, trust me, writers have been writing this whole time. They're just not registering their scripts with the
extremely
WGA.
quiet on. Actually, I'm going to say this: the strike might have saved the Gunverse. Like, he might have had so much time to work out this whole universe. Really like, he might have had more time now because of the situation than he would have ever had without this.
I think there's going to be some projects that he announced that aren't going to happen.
Oh,
And we're just going to have to wait and let that play out.
And the other question I have for you, and I want to get to the rest of the panel too, to include this. Now that the writers are done, do you think that was the hardest one to get done? And do you think the actors are going to be right after? It's going to be short, or do you think there's?
Well, again, it depends. When we see the language, and the other unions will see the language too, the language of how they structure the residuals for streaming. And the main thing would be AI with actors, the digital face replacement, the digital background scanning, all this kind of stuff has to be worked out for the Screen Actors Guild. And so they have a different set of things that need to be worked out, where the writers had their things. The directors were easy. That's why the DGA signed their contract really quick, because they don't have a lot of that stuff involved. They agreed to their percentages increased on their residuals. That wasn't an issue to them. But the Directors Guild is a lot smaller than 160,000 people that are in Screen Actors Guild, or even the
votes too. They have to vote. They get a certain percentage, right? So
yeah. So it's exciting. I mean, listen, the last strike went 100 days back in 2007. I survived that, and then for the 5 years after that, it was nonstop. I literally would work. I remember working 3 shows in 1 year, and that was 11 months. And I worked a full season of a show, a feature film, and a pilot. That was 11 months of the year, and I worked 2.5 years of labor in 11 months. I worked 80 hours a week for 11 months straight, and that's what's going to happen after this. It's going to be gangbusters, where you'll start hearing people complain next year, sometime around next fall, that we're all dying because they're just working us to death to play catch up on all the shit we should have been filming and should have been. And then the thing is, they've got backlog stuff that they needed to get done before they even start buying new scripts. There's stuff that they've got, development deals that they've got to reorganize, repick back up. I'm sure the J.J. Abrams deal is going to be redone. That was a $500 million deal. Ava DuVernay, her television show she was shooting here in town that stopped, is coming back in October.
Okay.
I know the UPM, she's been talking to Warner Brothers. She said that they'll be coming back in October, but Ava DuVernay won't be attached to the show because they dissolved her $100 million development deal. And they're still going to make the show, but it'll no longer be her show. It'll be Warner Brothers will figure out how to fix all that. But at least that's what I heard through the grapevine. But there's just there's a lot of stuff that just has to be reworked because they stretched it out long enough, the studios, to cancel these deals or to put pause on these deals so they didn't have to pay these people money. And
I want to
that's-
get to Joe's opinion on what he thinks about now that there seems to be an agreement with the writers and the studios. How long do you think it'll be before the actors, in your opinion, Joe, and how excited are you? Because you're a huge movie fan. And then after that, Perp, a young talent. Does this give you optimism for the future, Perp, after Joe? Joe, what do you think?
It's good.
Awesome.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, are you enthusiastic that the actors are going to be shortly after, or we're going to wait? It's going to be a while too.
Well, I don't know. Time will tell.
Yes. All right. Perp, and then we have a question for Rhea from Sean, and then Brian. Perp.
Yes.
We don't talk too much about. Well, I think you've covered on your channel, some of the work you've done, and
Sure.
Does this bring back some of your enthusiasm for the industry? Hopefully, you could. What's your thoughts on?
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad they got the deal done. Writers seem, at least from the guild perspective, they seem happy with it. So I'm happy with it. I'm good to go.
You're good to go.
I'm good.
All right.
Yes, I'm optimistic.
Brian, I think you said earlier, about time people got back to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's good. I mean, I don't know. I do have one question, and this is
okay.
I don't know. This might sound completely stupid. So
no,
who's responsible for allocating the budget of a film?
Oh, I mean, I can explain that to you.
Okay.
So, when they put together budgets of movies, and I've said this, I don't know, I always scream this on my Twitter and everything because people don't understand how movies are financed. And so what'll happen is basically you will put together a budget based on the locations you're going to be filming in and what states offer a film incentive, which offsets your budget. And so there are 16 banks in Los Angeles, and then there's a bunch of hedge funds that will put up the funding, partial funding for any movie or project, as long as they already have deals in place for either streaming or they've got a distributor that's going to put the movie out. And sometimes distributors put in money. So a distributor will say, we'll put in 10% of the budget. You shoot in Georgia and you get 30% tax credit for everything that you spend there. And so what you do is when you make your budget, you make it the full amount, but you understand that 30% of that is coming back to you as a tax credit. And basically what they do with the tax credit is you sell it to a company within that state, either the full dollar amount or a brokered less amount, like 80 cents on the dollar for every dollar you spend that qualifies. And there are things that payroll qualifies, any kind of local purchase you make. It all has to be in state though. You have to spend the money in the state to get the state tax credit.
Yeah.
So basically that 30% is figured out what that percentage is going to be, what the distributors might put in. And then then sales agents will pre-sell the movie to countries all around the world, and they take these promissory notes and they go to the bank, and the bank goes, well, look, we've got 30% coming from Georgia. We've got 7 countries that are going to give us X amount of dollars, and the banks that they go to already understand how all this works because that's how they finance films. There's like the Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, they're a big entertainment one. And they fund a lot of the stuff in Canada and a lot of the stuff in Atlanta. They've got an RBC in Atlanta. Yeah. And so they understand. So they'll be like, all right, so if all your money adds up to $1 million, we'll give you the full $1 million, but we want a percentage of our rate of return is 9% on the loan. So the bank does that. Now, when the pre-sales come in, those checks go straight to that bank. They don't go to the studio. It goes back to repay the loan. And so the idea, and this is where you hear you don't want the movie to go over budget. The idea is to come in under budget so that you have a profit margin within the amount of money you borrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for example, like the Indiana Jones film, I've been saying this for a while. I think Disney probably only put in $180 million total on their end, and the rest of that 230 million you
Was
hear,
financed by
that
others.
was all financed and paid back from all the different countries and the film incentives that were given back.
Yeah.
And so really when you hear how much Disney spent and they say, oh, it's $290 million budget, well, it's not really 290 million.
Well, that wasn't necessarily what I was asking. I'm talking about, okay, that's how the movie gets the money in the first place.
Right.
But who decides who gets paid what from a production standpoint?
That's that's either the production manager
who
or
allocates it.
The production manager or the UPM or production supervisor. There's 3 different titles depending on what union they're in.
Mhm.
And they literally have the full budget, and there are already templates and formats based on the different unions in the different states of how much hourly rates people make. And so then they go to a department head and they go, okay, this is what we've allocated for this. Do you want the job? And they'll say yes or no. And so it's the production supervisor divvies out the money and the first accountant. So you've got a first accountant and you've got a production supervisor. Production supervisor makes the deals with all the different department heads, like the art director or the cinematographer. And you go to the UPM and they tell you what you're going to make, and you either accept the job or somebody else gets the job. Or the UPM, the director brings their own cinematographer, and they say to the UPM, this is the only person I want, so make the deal work. And they have to figure out where to nip and tuck within the budget to allocate the right funds for the cinematographer to get his money and to make a deal with him. Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, that's who decides, hey, okay, so the grips get paid this much, and
Yep.
craft services get paid this much, and
they all have there's all contracts. So like craft service and catering is covered under the Teamsters contract.
Mhm.
So because they drive their own catering vehicles, so they are allocated under that. So basically whatever the rates are, the Teamsters bring a contract and go, here's our contract to the production supervisor. She agrees to those rates. And that's what happens. That's why the WGA will say, here's our contract. This is what you're going to pay our writers to. And all of these contracts go on the desk of the production supervisor. And then they figure out, well, it's going to be more cost efficient to shoot in North Carolina because the rates are lower than if we shot in New York City where the rates are higher. So how do we make the movie work in North Carolina, or how do we make it work in Georgia, or how do we make it work in Prague? And where, or for example, Glasgow is where they shot the last Indiana Jones film. Well, they're paying people, $8 an hour in Glasgow, but that's because that rate is a good rate. Or let's say Prague, for example, the money is really,
that's a lot of money for them.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of money for them,
yeah.
but it's not a lot of money for the studio because they're looking at it for the rate exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that dictates all that. But the production manager, production supervisor, I got a friend of mine. He's a production manager. He's working on Armor Wars. And he did Lincoln with Spielberg. Good friend of mine. All my friends they're all people that have those kind of positions. And I had a budget done by my friend who's a film finance manager at Netflix. And so I've got a $3 million budget for my TV pilot. And one of these days I could share it with everybody. I don't care. I can share the whole file. It's 54 pages. You'd actually see how a movie's actually broken out and what the rates are. But you'd also see like how much, because it's budgeted for Atlanta, Georgia. So you'd see at the end what the refund's going to be on the rebate. And then you see, okay, well, when you go to borrow, you only need to borrow 2.6 million because you're going to get the rest in the rebate.
So you get it in the back end.
You get it. Yeah. Well, yeah, you get it in the back end, and that's why when they finance a movie or a TV show, a bank, the money, they know it's got to take time before it's on television and before all that. So you get a kind of a long grace period. It's kind of like when you get a construction loan to build a house and you don't have to make payments for a while because they're letting you build the house before it becomes the house, or the rate is so low in the beginning till the house is built, and then it kind of escalates, and then your final payment is your payment when you get a construction loan. Same kind of principle. So
I think we also have a Rhea question as well.
What is it?
Question for Sean. Would it be easier to agree to employee status to guild members than to increase their payout?
Yeah, again, that is up to the production manager, the production supervisor, if and whoever the producers are, if they want to just do a buyout on someone. And again, the buyout just has to be fair. So if you're going to do a buyout and you're not going to bring a writer on board where they're going to get, and remember, there are more to it than just their hourly wage. If they're being flown in, they have to have per diem every day. They also have to have housing. So people get allotted like $3,000 a month to go get an apartment if you're going to be in Toronto, and that's in the budget. So it's like if you're bringing in your writer and your writer isn't a local to Canada, you got to pay them housing and per diem, food and beverage, to have it's cash that they get to spend while they're there. And so these are all things that are stipulated in the actual contract. And so, again, a lot of times you could get a production supervisor that's like, you know what, we only want a local to Georgia to do the rewrites, and we're going to hire a local writer because we don't want to pay housing and per diem. We want to make them work as a local. And that happens all the time. And that's why like someone like me gets hired locally here in my area, because I'm part of the local crew. So they don't have to bring in people to take my position. I'm already here. So I don't cost them housing and per diem. That's a huge amount of money in a budget. If you've got 200 crew members and let's say you had to bring them all in. Yeah, it's crazy. It would be insane to pay everyone $3,000 a month to get a house, and then you got to go find a house and then write up a lease and all that stuff. And a lot of times the production has to sign off on the lease because they'll pay the lease directly, or because they're not just going to give you a full stipend for the money. So there's just a lot of stuff that goes on. When my wife was a producer's assistant, she had to look at leases and find housing for the producers that she worked with. And so it's a huge deal. But I really hope the writers, I think for me, it's the residual income, because, it used to be, we used to make shows that you'd get 22 episodes a season. And so you'd get like the first 12. And if the first 12 did good and the ratings were maintained, they would order what they call the back 9. And so you would basically work a full year. Well, now they'll shoot 6 episodes and they're done, but they make the writers cram and write those episodes in 5 weeks, and then they're let loose. So then they're out looking for another job. So a good writer may only work twice in a year, and then how are they going to pay their bills? It's like they figured out how to just really treat people like shit. And people forget about this. That Writers Guild contract expired during COVID. And because of COVID, the studios cried, "Oh, we can't do this right now. Can we wait till the pandemic's over?" And the writers said, "Okay, fine. We'll push it down the road a few more years until the pandemic's over." So this is all because they didn't renegotiate it back in 2019 or whatever it was, because they cried, "Oh, we have no money." But what did everybody do during the pandemic? They watched all the streaming stuff, and all those millions and millions of people that watched nothing but streaming television shows. None of these writers got residuals. And if they did, it was pennies. And so that is a problem. And the fact that they got away with it for so long. And then for the Screen Actors Guild, there's a contract called a new media contract. This is the contract that they've been working on for years under streaming. The rates are all cut in half for all the actors and everything, the day players, everybody. And basically it said, we don't know if this streaming stuff's going to work. So we're going to go under this new streaming contract, this new media contract. And what happens is that, Netflix is 17 years old now. Streaming is a proven concept because they're all doing it now. So why are we still using a contract from like 17 years ago that's called new media when it's not new anymore? And that's where the rates had to catch up to what's been going on. And don't let them kid you. Like, all these streaming platforms are making billions of dollars. I think like Hulu makes $12 billion a year because they have advertising. And that's why like Netflix, all of them started to get the advertising and the commercial options and the tiered options, because that's the only way to bring in more money to pay for more content or films and TV shows. But it's all a racket, man. They've been getting away with it for a long time, and it's time to pay the pauper. That's really what it comes down to.
Cool. All right, so CGH has a question. I'll humor him. Does this mean Star Wars can start on their movies and they might actually be better now?
Yeah, I mean, everything is going to be ramping up, but I think one of you guys said it earlier. Dude, trust me, they've been writing during all this strike shit, man. They're ready to go with all their new ideas and all their new stuff. And the industry knows it too.
Ever, because, sometimes they are working on things that they could create original IP too and pitch it. I'm hoping some really cool pitches come out from this.
I'm looking forward to seeing The Creator.
Yes.
And somebody was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be great! It's fresh,
already.
It's new, sci-fi, and everything." And then I thought about it. I was like, "If this movie is any kind of a hit, we're going to get sequels, prequels, remakes, anime versions of it. It's gonna turn into the shit we hate because we want fresh and new." And then once we get that one, like think about The Matrix. It was so amazing when it first came out. I remember in theaters, I saw it and it was amazing. And then the more they kept putting them out, the more it just became the same bullshit So even though everyone's really excited about The Creator, I foresee an anime version of it, a prequel version of it, and probably 3 sequels. And it's probably going to get diluted and everybody's going to hate it. But they're going to love that first one.
That's what they're saying now, Ray.
It's already projected to fail. They're saying it's going to bomb hard. The Creator.
Give me 18 Barbies until I hate them.
I think The Creator's going to surprise people.
I think it's going to be a good movie. The word is it's good, but the box office tracking is apparently it's going to be a disaster.
Degrassi saw it.
Crazy Joe. Look, Elemental bombed on opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
it could have legs, dude. Degrassi saw it. Degrassi saw it, and he said that the hype is actually it's underhyped of how good this movie is.
I think it's going to be a sleeper hit. I think it's going to have just legs. Like Elemental, it's going to have legs, and the buzz around it. People are going to go, "Hey!" And I'll tell you what, I still feel like they showed too much in the trailer. That like the little kid is a thing. Like they gave away
they have
too
to
much.
Get you somehow, I agree, but seeing that moment in the trailer, like, ooh, that's a Hulk. That hooks you.
Yeah. I guess they're using like the Logan template. I was actually very underwhelmed with the trailer. Wasn't even planning on seeing this, but the word of mouth of this is absolutely ridiculous. So
I think the latest trailer is the one that I was like, okay, this is good. Because
I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, there's AI. All right, I get it. There's and then
it makes
some of it looks like
hijack Gareth Edwards' Star Wars movie, Rogue One. Even though I really like Rogue One. And I love Tony Gilroy. I'm like, what could they have done if they just left him alone, too? They said it was darker.
It was also shot because he came from a background of handheld.
Yeah.
It was shot very Saving Private Ryan, all of the beach battle.
But I like that beginning stuff with, what's her name? Jen Erso.
Yeah. But
at the beginning, I like that.
The aesthetic didn't match the other Star Wars films. So it looked too much like Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
With the shaky cam, and they were like, this doesn't look like everything's got to match, and that was a problem.
Wasn't that his pitch though?
Of course it was.
And they still no, too much.
Like, you're gonna do what we want to do, and that's kind of how that went.
We didn't think we were gonna do it like that. Saving Private Ryan.
And I think Joe, you're saying, what do you call Andor?
Andor.
And Sean, did you like Andor? No, you didn't like it either.
Listen, it took like 4 episodes for me to get into it. Listen, I've said this before. Every single one of these streaming Star Wars shows should be cut down to a 2-hour movie. Every single one of them. Kenobi, all of them. Tight 2 hours and be done with it. These television shows, they're dragging. Ahsoka drags. They hold on shots too long. The pacing is terrible on these episodes. And that goes for the Marvel stuff too. The pacing is awful. And it's because they have to drag it out to make these artificial 28 minutes, 40 minutes, 42 minutes, 36 minutes. It's a joke. Like, cut it down to 2-hour movie and release a 2-hour movie.
It does make you second guess the industry too, because they so frequently change it from a series to a movie and back to a series again consistently. They did that with Obi-Wan. They did that with Armor Wars. And they're like, oh, now it's a movie.
My friend worked on Miss Marvel, and now he's working on Armor Wars, and it was supposed to be a series, and they told him to hang tight. We're making it a movie because Don Cheadle wants his movie. He says, I should have my own War Machine thing. I've been in this too long. And they were like, yeah, that makes sense. and they're starting to see that some of these things don't work if you drag them out. And so, yeah, I mean, I haven't done one review on any of Ahsoka. I'm going to do one once the show's over and recap everything I feel about the show.
Amazing fan edits, like that Obi-Wan fan edit. The movie was great.
I haven't seen it yet. Is that the one? Is that the new one with the guy who worked on Andor doing the CGI?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, there's a guy who worked on Andor and did CGI on Andor who is recutting Kenobi, and the stuff that he's put out, his little clips are light years ahead of anything they did.
Send that to me.
I will.
Because I want to see that.
I subscribe to his channel, and it's amazing what he's doing. It's not the other guy that just cut it all down. This guy's actually recreating. He's shooting more material with people in stormtrooper costumes and all that kind of stuff against green screens, but he has all the bells and whistles to make the production value that a lot of these fan film people can't recreate when they try to do fan edits. So that's the one I'm waiting for when it's finished.
I just remembered, I think I put my bear in the freezer. I'll be right.
Your bear?
My beer.
Oh, your beer.
To get it cold for the stream, and then I forgot.
That thing popped.
It's gonna blow.
Excited.
Yeah, you blew that one.
I was more excited about a bear in the freezer. That would have been interesting.
All right.
Yeah, Andor was actually 13 episodes, not 6. Yeah, yeah, it was 13 episodes, but that thing should have been cut down to 2 hours too. It would have been so much. I mean, I get it. They're just dragging all these things out to get eyeballs to keep subscribed, because you're either gonna subscribe and binge watch all of it and then dump the subscription, that's what they're trying not to do. That's why they've gone back to the television model of releasing one every week and then alternating Marvel shows with Star Wars shows with whatever other content that particular network has, like Disney Plus, is to just keep people on that subscription. And I just think it sucks, because it's really hurting Star Wars. Do I have any connections to writers on Loki? No, I don't know anybody working on Loki.
Nice and cold, real cold.
It didn't explode. By the way, I love the Blockbuster video.
Thank you.
And I watched earlier your VHS one. I was driving home the 2 hours from seeing my stepdad and saying goodbye, and I had you guys. I was watching some of the older stuff, and I was watching all the VHS.
No, I actually really do like VHS collecting, and here's my. This was only released in Korea. Some of these late VHS they're really good covers.
Yeah, I saw the 310 to Yuma that you had that was released only in Korea. I was like, oh man, that's crazy that they were still cranking out VHS back then. So
now it does have the Korean titles that you can't get rid of, subtitles, but it's still really good.
That's okay.
It's still really cool collectible.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Godzilla -1 in the theater in December, and that's going to be subtitled, the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'm fine with subtitles.
Yeah. All right. So what do we want to talk about now? I'm going to do mailbag soon. While you're here, and I know you might also be short on time, Sean, but we were talking about how do you feel about Sylvester Stallone? And if anyone else has a question, I'll bring up your questions. Man, everyone has questions for you, Sean. You need a whole interview.
No.
No, not tonight, but in the future.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Stallone and have been, because I grew up watching all the Rocky films and things like that. And of course, there's always going to be hits and misses with his movies. I feel like the Rambo where he went to Burma was amazing. But the last one where he went to Mexico was not very good.
I love that one.
I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. And for me,
I think there's a director's cut as well of that one. I didn't see that yet.
I'll tell you this. I don't think Rambo 2 and 3 are very good, but I love 4 and 5.
I'll tell you what, First Blood is just amazing. And
yeah, that's the best one.
The one reason why that film is good is Brian Dennehy. Brian Dennehy, who passed away a few years ago, was fantastic as that sheriff. I mean, he made that movie, and Stallone was so good in that. I actually like Rhinestone with Dolly Parton. If you haven't seen Rhinestone, dude, it's hilarious. It's a comedy, and it worked. And even though it bombed at the box office because people weren't used to seeing him, do that. Cobra, another fantastic Stallone film, probably one of his best ones. That car, and, dude, if you can give the hero a badass car, you have me.
Joe
And that,
sent that on VHS to me and Over the Top.
dude, it's over the top. I wasn't a fan of that one.
It's fun though. It's fun.
It's
I remember.
fun.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
Nighthawks was great. I mean, Billy D. Williams is in that movie too as well, and Rutger Hauer. No, not Rutger Hauer. The guy who was in Dirty Harry, the original Dirty Harry. Was
Andy Robinson.
I think, yeah. He ended up being in Hellraiser. Wasn't he in Hellraiser and Star Trek?
Look at my mom
Yeah.
that doesn't
Garrett from
actually
Star Trek.
watch my show, but knows I do movie talk.
Garrick.
Breaking news: the screenwriter Shrek is
Oh,
over.
nice.
I'm like, thanks, mom. Oh wow,
Keeping you updated.
I know, but she doesn't even have you watch the show.
You should have
she's
told
like-
her sooner. You'd been like, "Oh, mom, guess what?"
No, she constantly does that. You should know this. I'm like, I know, mom. I know.
Wow. You know what? We just got done talking about it.
Mom's update via text. Do you know it's over? You should probably cover that. You know.
My mom was asking about it today when I was at the house. What's going
Thanks for
on?
the heads up,
When are you
mother.
going back to work? It's like, I don't know.
I'm gonna reply. Really? I should cover that.
She's like, "Are you going back to work tomorrow? And it's starting up again real soon."
I need a new TV.
Yeah,
You know.
right. That's funny.
Well, I mean, it's. I've been able to do things from my mother that she wouldn't have been able to, repaint her house and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff. I mean,
that's
it's
good.
really
You
cool.
got a lot of family time during this. At least be happy with that. Yeah.
Well, with my daughter, especially with my daughter, I love that. But going back to Stallone, I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan of the original Rocky.
Oh,
I like Rocky 2.
I would put
I like
the
Rocky
original
3.
Rocky over Indiana Jones.
Oh, you're crazy.
No,
Oh, I wouldn't go that
Over
far.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Which
No way.
indie? Yeah, which indie?
Yeah, I do that too.
Not
Yeah.
Temple of Doom though.
Go that far.
Yeah, Rocky
No.
goes
now
in my
she
top
sent me-
5 of all time.
she sent me another article.
That's
I
great.
said she thinks I'm serious.
Oh,
Thanks,
That's
mom.
awesome.
cute, Max. Appreciate it, Max.
Why don't you watch my show though? No, I don't want her to watch.
It's
No, I don't.
live.
Please.
No, I don't want her to watch her show.
Demolition Man was another great Stallone film. Sandra
That's
Bullock
my
was in
favorite
that.
one.
Amazing.
I
Wesley
think, I
Snipes.
think that's a brilliant premise for
Dennis
for an
Leary.
action movie.
Yeah, I mean Taco Bell winning the franchise wars. I mean, come on, like that line is classic.
Well, who here would go the original Rocky versus Indiana Jones?
Oh,
Herb.
I'm
I
Raiders of the
would.
Lost Ark.
I
all the
haven't.
way.
I never seen the original Rocky.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta go Rocky.
Perps,
my
for
thing.
real?
Yeah, I'm not a sports guy. I understand.
You
I
don't
saw
have
8
to be a
Mile. I
sports
saw
guy.
8
The
Mile. That one had
underdog
the Rocky template, right?
No,
Mile?
the original
Rocky
is
2 is
so good.
Rocky 2 is better because there was actually a conclusion.
Yes.
Going the
I've seen like a
distance
lot of scenes. Of course, I've seen a bunch of stuff.
Going
on TV.
the
I've just never
distance
sat down and actually watched the whole movie. I know what- I know
over
what- it's not
Nazi faces melting off. I'm going to go with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's a 49er fan right there.
Yeah, I'm a car
That's
chase
right.
guy, so I'd probably go for that.
Okay.
anyway.
However,
Uh-oh.
Temple of Doom versus Rocky 2. Rocky 2 all the way, man.
Oh, Temple of Doom is so good.
Temple of Doom is one of my favorites. Yeah.
I did know- I love
I
it
take
too, but
the
I'm not a
average
hater.
Pauly
I'm
Shore
not a
movie
hater.
over Temple of Doom.
Oh, so
Well,
Rutger Hauer was the
Because
villain
Pauly
in
Shore movies are
Nighthawks. Yes.
awesome.
Sean
Herb,
Hickman got it right.
I really, you know how I have to watch The Evil Dead,
Yeah.
and I need to watch The Thing. You really need to watch Rocky. We need to do this as a segment. I watch, you watch. You know, we have to
All right,
watch.
finish it.
each
Well,
one.
you started Evil Dead 2. When you finish that one, then I'll start.
I'll
Rocky,
watch.
okay?
I'll watch them all. I'll watch Evil
Yeah,
Dead, Evil Dead
right.
2, and Army.
Well,
of
let me know
Darkness.
when you do that so I can watch Rocky.
Yeah, and
Guys,
I
I'm
want
never
you to give
watching
a
Rocky.
review. I want
What's-
you to say Max
There's-
made me watch and review Rocky, and you do a whole stream on it.
There's
Well, the
two
thing-
movies I will never watch, and no one will ever make me watch them.
What?
And that is Titanic and Mean
What?
Girls.
You've never seen Titanic? See,
And
we
what
all
was
have
the
that
other
one
one?
movie.
Titanic
Mean
and what
Girls.
else?
Mean
I have.
Girls.
Hey, I haven't seen Mean Girls either.
Oh, I love
I've heard
Mean
Mean Girls is
Mean Girls
good.
is great.
I
Mean Girls
won't.
is
I won't
hilarious.
watch Mean Girls out of principle.
Oh, I loved it.
But you
Oh,
can't
don't tell me
watch-
anything bad. No, don't tell me. I don't want to hate on a person that worked on it.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Lindsay
It's
Lohan?
One of my viewers kept insisting I had to watch Mean Girls and kept like sending me copies of it in the mail. And
That's great.
I drew a line in the snow and said, "No, we're not doing this."
You can't get me to watch Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Ooh.
Fucking,
There you go.
I'm not watching 3 hours of blue.
What about a
people.
classic?
Well,
What about a classic like
Avatar-
Godfather? Have you seen
Avatar 2
any
is
one of
a
those?
wonderful movie.
No,
if
they're
you
too
need a
long.
nap, Sean.
What about Titanic though? Why
Sean,
won't
if
you
you
see
need a nap,
Titanic?
you can't beat Avatar
Joe.
2. It'll really help you get a good
We
nap.
never heard why you won't see Titanic though.
Because 3 hours long and I know how it ends. The boat sinks.
Oh.
Sorry.
He's got a point.
She lets go. I mean,
History spoiled it for me.
Okay.
So you don't watch any history movies? Like Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, you know how most.
Yeah, but those are fictional characters.
Yeah, but we won the war.
did we?
But he doesn't know what happened to the fictional
Oh,
character
Brian.
before.
That's why I don't like
Brian
Inglorious
Black is so
Bastards,
your
'cause
color tonight.
It's fictitious,
Did we?
re-envisionist history.
Mhm.
The truth is, I'm not very interested in war movies. I saw Saving Private Ryan. Everyone went crazy over it. I
Not
can
you
acknowledge
two
it's a good movie, but it didn't interest me really.
Oh,
What about
strange.
Black
You're,
Hawk
you're
Down?
hurting my
Yeah.
heart here. You know, well, James Cameron's laughing his way to the bank. So, all you Avatar haters.
Well, it's all right. He can laugh his way to the
All right,
bank.
well-
I got a nap when we went to see his movie.
Do you have an underrated? But before we move
What's
on,
awesome is that Joe
Sean,
went to see the movie anyway.
Do you have an
Yeah.
underrated Sylvester Stallone movie you'd recommend to people?
Judge Dredd.
Tango
overly hated.
Tango and Cash, man. Tango.
I
and
gotta
Cash.
watch Tango and Cash again, and that is one that I need on VHS.
Yeah, and I will
Ju-
say, I love Rocky Balboa, the one where he
Mhm.
came back and did the George
Yes.
Foreman thing.
I got that.
movie is fantastic, and
I got that
I
on
re-
Korean VHS.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And it only exists in Korea. They didn't. All the Rocky tapes, 1 through 5, exist on VHS except that one, only in Korea.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Mhm.
Now you
And it
just
has
gotta
a
hope
great cover.
you can keep up the actual VHS machines. 'Cause-
I got
Yeah.
a really good. I have 3.
oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I had to get them for various reasons. I got a worldwide one where I could play PAL tapes.
Jeffrey Miller has never seen a single Stallone movie.
Really?
Wow.
You
What about
haven't
Guardians
lived,
of the
Jeffrey
Galaxy 2?
How does that work? You had to have seen one by accident.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean,
Well,
he was at least in that, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see here. Let's see if you agree with the top ones: Rocky, First Blood, Demolition Man,
That is
and I got to rewatch Demolition Man again.
Demolition Man is genius.
Because do you like Demolition Man, Sean?
he? I do love Demolition Man. Oh my god,
I
that
never
movie's
saw
so
it till
good.
recently,
Dude,
and then I
Dennis
watched
Leary's
it back.
great in it. Everybody's good. Sandra Bullock is so hot in that movie.
I know.
I think it's
Voltaire-
Wesley Snipes' best performance too.
Voltaire needs to
I
cool
agree.
down with the bidet every time he thinks about Sandra Bullock.
You know
Demolition
what's really
Man.
underrated, and I think it gets kind of dragged through the mud because the sequels were garbage.
Hmm.
But Escape Plan with Schwarzenegger, that was the first one was really good.
Really?
The
Then
first
they
one
made
was really good, and then
Wait,
then they
what
made
is it?
this Escape Plan.
Escape Plan.
The third one they added 50 Cent. I was like, come on, you're gonna
Yeah,
play
the sequels were
Schwarzenegger with
horrible.
50
yeah,
Cent.
the sequels were rough. And I know the director of one of the sequels.
Oh,
Yeah, he loved. I remember when he was posting on social media, he loved working with Stallone, and then Stallone like badmouthed the movie when it was over. So it was
Aw.
really, but he badmouthed the producers, not the director,
I
but the
never even
producers
heard
for
of this movie.
not allocating enough money to make the movie right.
Mm,
So the production schedule was shorter. There weren't enough days to get the stunts right, and
mm. Was it one of those where Stallone only shows up for like 15 minutes, or did he get a full Stallone movie?
no, but
full
I did.
time?
I had some friends that worked on the first Escape Plan. They said that in between takes, Stallone and Arnold would like collapse, and people would come and grab them and sit them back in their chairs after doing their fight scenes. And
Oh
that
my
most
God.
of the fight scenes were done by stunt doubles, even like the parkour stuff at the end
Yeah.
when they're jumping all around. And they were just having cigars, sitting in their chairs, watching it all go
I
down.
never heard of this movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
How did
It
you
was the
not
first-
hear about it? It was a big deal when it came out because it was the first time they ever like
Worked
co-starred.
It's
together.
not on this
Yeah.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't just cameos like Expendables.
yeah. No, it was
It-
full on movies. Yeah,
Well,
it's
50
good.
cents. It's like the proto Expendables too.
Well, I think that's probably why he got in Expendables, because he worked with them on the Escape Plan movies, and they have a relationship.
This is
Same with
Sylvester
50 Cent.
Stallone. Sylvester Stallone, Hidden Gem, and Arnold's in it too.
Yeah,
How did I not hear about this?
it's really good. I saw it in the theater when it first came out.
I
Who,
did too. I saw it in the
directed
theater.
this first one? Who did this first one? Was it a
Um,
name? Go down, scroll down. You probably have
Hold
the
on.
director there, right?
Let's see.
Who's in charge of this?
Did you see this, Brian?
No.
No, they don't have the director. No, they don't have the director.
I
Thanks
did
for
not like
clarifying.
Bullet
I
to the
appreciate
Head. I could tell you that.
It's a whole series that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, and don't believe the audience score, the tomato score. It's a good, solid film. I mean, it's fun. Yeah,
Escape Plan, a team up.
yeah, it was a team up.
How did I not know about this?
I don't know, man. That's crazy.
It was one of the first movies Arnold did after the Last Stand was like his first starring role after he left the governor's office.
Yeah,
Yep.
Last Stand had a
I
good
gotta
Korean
do it.
director too.
You know what? After the stream, I'm going to do a trailer reaction in my Blockbuster shirt to Escape Plan. That's going to blow my mind.
Yeah, you should do it, man. It's good.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Escape Plan. This is 2013. I think is right when Blockbusters really started closing down. So you could probably get like I think I remember seeing this in all the bins.
I'll do it in character as a Blockbuster manager. Like, wow,
Yeah.
with movies like this, Blockbuster's never going away.
Uh,
I'll act like I'm a 2000.
It's the first Blockbuster exclusive film.
The director was Mikhail Hafstrom. I don't know who he is.
No, I don't know who that is. I thought you would think it was like a
Who else
Jesse
is
V.
done?
Johnson movie or something.
Everyone talks about Spy Kids 3.
When you get a chance, Max, send me your email or send me your address in a private message. I've got a gift for you. I've got to give you. I've got to send you something.
Ooh, VHS.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Possible
I appreciate
VHS? Possible VHS? Maybe.
I've got a VA. You may have it. I don't know. Maybe I should pull it up on here and show you what I'm
No,
going to
no,
give you.
Mikhail
Or do you wa-
Hafstrom also
Do
directed.
you want to just get
1408.
excited when you see it?
Yes.
Oh shit! 1408 was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give you it on.
Oh, that explains. Yeah, the
Max.
visuals pretty good in Escape Plan. I guess.
Okay. Wow,
not-
you distracted me. I was bringing up. Thank you. That's
Well, the
really
thing
nice.
is, I don't know if you have it already. So how about I get it and show it real quick?
Is it Jerry Maguire? That's what we're trying to get to him.
No,
We're trying to give him
but I
Jerry
need-
Maguire.
How do I just make myself go like dark for a minute so I can go grab it?
I'll like that. I'll put you in the background.
Yeah, put me in the background real quick.
All right. Oh boy. What's going to happen?
he's
Is everyone-
excited. It's like,
Stallone's Judge Dredd is also really underrated. I know
Right?
a lot of people get upset. They're like, "Oh, it does not just like the comic. He takes his helmet off." Yeah, I don't give a damn. It's a fun movie. It's a really fun movie.
The effects are really good.
Yeah,
The robot looked cool.
and he had good chemistry with Rob Schneider.
Oh, and the makeup was good too. The farmers or whatever in the outskirts, that family or whatever.
Was he
That
back?
looked good.
the cannibals.
Put me back in.
Okay.
Okay, this is. I don't know if you have this. This is a limited edition.
What?
I
Original-
did just get that.
Did you just get this?
Yes!
Okay, so now I don't have to send it
Oh,
to you.
thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
man, I was going to send this to you. This is the original
I actually have that.
widescreen edition,
Yes.
and it's the
Damn.
flat box.
Yeah, open it up so people could see. That's what started my VHS problem.
Oh, and see this had the magazine, but yeah, and they're all the
my God.
originals on VHS, and they're
Yes.
in mint condition.
Yes, I have
I've-
that exact set, and that's what set me on this journey, Sean.
Was
is
this-
I was in a bookstore selling some books, make a little cheddar, and you know what was there? That
This.
and the Godfather trilogy in a really good condition. I was like, oh, I got to get this. Yes.
I have this behind me in the small box set,
Mhm.
but when this one came out, this was the one that everybody was hyped to get.
Yes.
And yeah, okay, well, just know my heart was in the right place, but I
Oh.
wanted to make sure that you didn't
Yes.
have it ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But
good. That's
this
good
has
because
just
I
been-
did. Yeah, you're right. Good thing we did that. But
Yeah.
thank you for the thought.
The thought,
that
thought
is
was
an
there.
That is an amazing set. Yes, and I actually haven't watched it yet. I own it. I
Oh.
have it, but I want to watch it on widescreen. Yes.
I
The
actually
original
sat and watched
films
the VHS
before-
today.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
CJ. Yeah, it's really cool. And I gotta
Yeah.
watch. I'm gonna watch the Godfather VHS 2 I have
I mean, they're just so long.
I
I'm
like
just,
long movies.
I'm not into mob shit like I used to be when I was a teenager. When I was like, oh, Scarface. Oh, now I'm like, I'm done. After I watched The Sopranos for all those seasons, I'm like,
I just saw a recent mob movie that's like in the 70s with the guy that's in Ahsoka, Ray Stevenson, great actor. Kill the
Irishman.
Really good.
oh, I haven't seen that.
That's a
I'll
really
have to check
good
that one out.
One of his
If you're
best.
tired of mob movies, you should get into Yakuza movies. That's the. I'm gonna do a list on this channel about the best Yakuza movies ever. Right, Max?
And he's gonna show the trailers. And
Yeah, I'm gonna
everything.
show all the action scenes and all that.
Oh, CJH has a question before we get to the mailbag. Do you think some of the movies fail because their movie titles are terrible and hard to remember, like that Dracula movie? Yeah, they should have called it Dracula on a Boat. Voyage of the Better.
I'll say this: when I've talked to distributors, I had a friend of mine who had a movie called Pieces of Talent that I was in, and Syndime, which is a big distributor that buys a lot of movies and from film festivals and stuff and distributes them on streaming. They wanted him to rename the movie from Pieces of Talent to something that had an A or a B in the beginning, because he said all the market research that they do is that people are lazy, and so when they pull up the menus in alphabetical order to see like what to watch, that they don't make it past A, B, C, or D. So make your title begin with an A, B, C, or D in order to hook people. And if you have something really far down like P or S or T, it's not going to be as successful on streaming unless it's one of the top four letters. The first four letters of the alphabet. So
my next movie is going to be called AAA.
Well, that's why the movie that I produced that I got onto Netflix was called Butchered, because it began with a B. And my other buddy who had his movie Pieces of Talent was never distributed because he refused to change the title. So it became just this underground movie, and he could have probably made a lot of money if he just said A Piece of Talent and just had an A at the beginning, and he would have had a distribution deal. They offered him $100,000 up front, and he turned it down. And he never made a dime off the movie. It's a shame. It's a good movie, and people have bootlegged it and put it up on YouTube, and you could watch it all in
probably
Russian.
on Tubi right now.
Kind of, they put it up there with
Tubi.
an A in front of it.
I haven't seen Gaudy yet. Anthony's favorite mob movie is mob comedy is Gaudy.
Is that with the one with John Travolta? I haven't
Married
seen
to the
that
Mob. Married to the Mob was
Speaking
awesome.
of titles, I bet Sean knows. Like I will bet Sean knows, but the rest of you, I'm curious.
Oh,
Did you guys ever hear what Sid Sheinberg at Universal wanted to retitle Back to the Future?
Oh, I heard this before and I forgot.
I just watched the documentary on that, and I'm trying to remember.
I heard it before and I completely
He
forgot.
said movies with future in the title don't do well. They should call it The Spaceman from Pluto.
The Spaceman from Pluto.
The Spaceman from Pluto.
And that's why the book in the movie says The Spaceman from Pluto, right? The book that he wrote, the love story, is the fake title that they asked him to change the movie to. When he was like, you see, if you put your mind to it, you could do anything. And he's got his book comes and it opens the box. I think that's the title of it because they thought it was hilarious. Sid Sheinberg used to be really smart back in the day. And he died a few years ago, but he's married to Lorraine Gary, who's still alive. She played Roy Scheider's wife in the Jaws films. And, she was the lead in Jaws: The Revenge, but he married her years ago, and he's good friends with Spielberg. I mean, he really helped make Spielberg's career. Sid,
yeah,
solid guy. But these producers don't have a lot of creative taste behind them. They think they do, but they don't.
We have I think we're gonna. I don't know how long people are staying, but 15 minutes. I'm gonna end. So we have the mailbag for quick questions from the MME members. We can run through real quick. So Jade says, what do you think is the best movie this year so far? Also best TV series of the year. I would say Barbie is up there, surprised me. Across the Spider-Verse, is that what it's called? TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, was actually very, very good for a kids movie, not just a kids movie, but it was really good. Oppenheimer. What else came out this year?
For
And
me,
then
it's not even a contest. It's Flash. Not even nothing else comes close. Nothing
likes
else comes
it?
close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy you like it. I really am.
Mhm.
Flash and Barbie and Shazam are pretty high up there too.
Mhm.
I've not seen any of those films.
I was actually really pleasantly surprised with Indiana Jones,
That was good.
but it's
was
not
good.
like the best of the year for me though.
It's not. It was good, but it wasn't the best of the year. I haven't seen anything that I think is the best of the year yet. I'm waiting.
TV series, Ahsoka's one of the best of the year for me.
There's so many TV shows I haven't watched.
Ray Stevenson is one of the best. I don't even know if he's actually necessarily, no spoilers, a villain. He's
Dude,
just, his
Antagonist,
acting
yeah.
is so good.
But do you
Yeah,
realize
he's really good. He's
look,
my
but
favorite character so far.
do you realize what his character is doing though? He's literally explaining everything that wasn't explained that put Luke Skywalker where he's at in The Last Jedi.
There's a good movie.
Think about all his dialogue. The Jedi failed. The Jedi were this. The Jedi.
Oh yeah. And then
he's
he wants
literally
to stop it. Yeah.
because we can't go back
Well, he
and
goes
watch
the
Luke
different. He goes a
Skywalker
different
discover
way
all
than
this
Luke.
shit.
Yeah.
We have to hear all the bad things from this character that's at this point kind of disposable. We'll see what happens by the end of the show. But I hope that they do recast it if he is alive at the end of this, the last couple of episodes. It'd be great if they recast and bring in somebody else. I think Gerard Butler would be perfect for the part.
Yeah. My favorite, I'm looking at my letterbox ratings. My favorite movies are Barbie and actually the one I just saw, No One Will Save You. So far.
I want to see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that
For
one's great.
That's
For
the,
TV
what is it called again?
No One Will Save You. Oh, Max.
For television,
No
I gotta go
dialogue.
with
No dialogue. There's dialogue. There's 3 words uttered in the movie, but it's really fast paced. It's awesome. It's a home
Guardians 3
invasion,
was really good.
invasion alien movie.
Hey,
For
get
TV
out! Is that the
for
three
TV
lines
series.
of-
I gotta go with Strange New Worlds.
wait a second, Picard.
season 2.
Picard was this year, guys.
Picard. Yeah, I forgot.
Picard was this year.
Picard was this year. Picard
Yeah.
deserves to be at the top of the.
I would
I'd
say
put
Picard's
Strange New
got to be at
Worlds
the top.
over Picard because I mean the musical episode alone I think put Strange New Worlds over Picard. I mean, Picard was good, but my God, that musical episode's one of the best things I've seen on TV.
I
still
can't
have-
even watch it. I
I
can't even
still
watch
haven't
it.
brought myself to watch it yet.
I
Oh,
can't
yeah,
even
true.
watch
Oh,
it.
God,
Anthony.
it's so fracking good.
Anthony Talk to Me was great too. Yeah.
So thanks, Jade, for the awesome question there. Mass Vigilante, thoughts on Kirsten Lepore, who created the I Am Groot series, rumored for her to direct the next future Guardians of the Galaxy film with the new team after Gunn's trilogy. Could it happen? And if it does, would you watch it?
I don't think that's actually rumored. I heard that I heard somebody ask her, "Would you like to direct the next one?" And she said yes. But I've heard no rumor that she's actually.
Well, I
going
wanna
to direct.
Have
actually
you seen
watch
those
it.
Groot shorts? They're freaking amazing.
Really?
I love them.
I've
They're
seen-
really
I've
hilarious.
seen
The
one of
first
them.
one's
Me and my daughter
the first
watched
one's
one the other day.
hilarious.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm
It's
gonna give that a
legitimately
shot.
fun.
I can watch that easy.
The one
I
where
can
he's
wa-
like a god.
I could binge that tonight. They're shorts.
You know, she was. If she's not rumored to do anything, she's just throwing herself out there. I think that's probably a good bet.
All right. Let
Has
me see
anyone
what
been watching Very Short Treks?
No.
No.
They are. Well, I mean, they've done 3 of them. The most recent one, Worst Contact, is not good at all. It's all booger jokes. But the first 2 are really funny, like crazy funny. The second one's called Holiday Party, and it's about Spock
Hey,
showing
Brian.
the crew their blooper reel, and he's getting it wrong because he doesn't understand what makes a
Oh,
funny
wait.
blooper.
Oh yeah,
I forgot 2 more. Air
An-
deserves
Anthony's-
to be up there. and
Anthony's
Tetris.
correct.
And
Anthony,
Tetris.
yeah, dude, I would say Air is my favorite movie of the year. Air,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tetris too.
It crushes
Did
everything.
you see? Anyone here see
Ugh.
Tetris?
I
did
saw
not see
Tetris. I didn't like Tetris. I liked Air, but I
Oh, I
didn't like
love
Tetris.
Tetris.
Yeah, Air wins it for me, hands down. And I'm kind of waiting to see the Willy Wonka movie and the Marvels and to see what else comes out. But honestly, I think like Air is going to be the movie of the year for me. Good job, Anthony, for throwing
Dumb
it out there,
Money is really good too. I saw Dumb
I-
Money.
I would like to
That's
see
very
that.
good.
That's more of like a rental for me, though.
Yeah. It feels
Well,
like
I
a
have my
rental.
A list. I could if I it's just been so busy lately that I don't know. My
Nobody from
dad
my big
started
fat Greek
dialysis, so it's
wedding
been
3,
hard to get to the theaters
My
much.
Greek Wedding 3 or 4 or whatever.
Oh, my wife wants to see that one.
All the women want to see that one.
Jacob McKenzie. Thoughts on Guillermo del Toro confirms he was working. I know he was working as Star. He's worked on so many movies
Yeah,
that we could have had, and they never go through.
Guillermo del Toro needs to shit or get off the pot. All he does is talk about movies he was going to make or was going to make.
Because he doesn't sacrifice creative vision. He's
Well,
one of
look, I watched that Goyer entire podcast where he spoke about Guillermo having done.
Hey,
they
cool,
wrote
man.
they
Nice
wrote
to
that
see you.
Star Wars thing together, and I thought to
Rhea.
myself, the fact that they passed on that, and the fact that they passed on Rebel Moon from Zack Snyder, just goes to show you that they don't want people to play in their sandbox that come up with really probably unique ideas.
Goyer,
they just
Goyer
wanna
was
stick-
attached.
When Goyer was
thank
attached.
God then. Thank God that didn't happen.
Well, no, they said the script. He said
does
the
not like
script was
Goyer.
really good. I don't know.
Goyer said his script was good.
Goldman, I can't
Enough
wait.
for Guillermo del Toro to, or whatever, to be like, I'm going to do this one.
Maybe.
Goldman, I gotta
Did he
have
ever
you
come clean
on.
why the Lord of the Rings stuff fell apart? Why did because he was still attached as producer, but I never
No
got the
idea.
full story of why that fell apart for him.
Goldman, at
That's
the end of
interesting.
Ahsoka, I would love to have you on and a few others to really break down the whole season. Ray Stevenson is one of my. He's actually surpassed like
Darth Maul.
a lot of the Jedi that I like to the past. Like I don't even know what's going to happen, where he's going to end up. It sort of seems like he's going to do something to help the rebels in Ahsoka's team. I don't know. He seems like he has plans of his own.
I mean, whatever happens, I think like the way they can reset the universe so that we could ignore everything is just to stay in this new galaxy. And just move forward. But the thing is, the Ghost showed up at the Battle of Scarif. The Ghost was during the Rise of Skywalker. It showed up at the Rise of Skywalker. So the Ghost and that crew has been around through all these huge battles in history. So I don't know how you get those guys to, I'm still saying Taika Waititi's directing Star Wars Rebels. That's his movie. That's the one he's writing. The reason he couldn't write yet is not because of the Guild. It's because he had to wait until Filoni was finished using them in Ahsoka before he can spin them off to his feature film. So when the news breaks that Taika Waititi is still directing his movie and it's going forward, it's going to be a standalone Star Wars Rebels movie.
I keep saying the most exciting spot in the Star Wars timeline is post Rise of Skywalker, because you've got no continuity ahead of you. You've got nothing you can brush up against. And the Ghost was in Rise of Skywalker. Bring the Rebels crew back and set it then. You know what? Introduce them in the Rey movie. Have Rey and Ahsoka work together and then spin them all. But that's your time period because you don't have any continuity after that.
True.
Hey, geeking it with Jim Classic. The Ghost and Rise of Skywalker was a blink and you miss it moment.
Well, but it was also a blink and you miss it moment in the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One, but it was there. I mean, it shows up, it comes out of hyperspace. So I don't know. It's like, it's there. Whether we know what was going on during those battles with them, it's there,
Hey guys, I'm gonna run.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much.
See you, Joe.
Good job, Crazy Joe.
What about pre-episode 1?
All right, so let's go through this mailbag here. Mass Vigilante rumor in Loki season 2. Is this potentially a spoiler? There could be a chance that we might see a variant of Frog Thor. Instead of a cameo, he would interact and talk to Loki and properly see him fighting besides him. If this could happen, would you be interested to see the mighty frog in action? Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to Loki season 2. CJH Entertainment, if you could explore one character or character story arc in a Star Wars Disney Plus show or movie, who would it be? Balin. I'd pick Jango Fett and Count. And unfortunately, that's probably impossible. And that might add to his character too, not exploring every character, like the prequel of every character. I'd pick Jango Fett and Count Dooku's story and how the clones were created for me.
Max Rebo.
Yes, Max Rebo. I'm very intrigued in Balin, but maybe they shouldn't always give you what you want. Like maybe you shouldn't always have the whole backstory, and that some of that mystique adds to the character of Balin. You know?
Well, but see, that's what made Darth Vader so awesome in the first trilogy. But then we had to have the prequels explain everything that got him there, and every single movie that they make or TV show, they're filling a hole, and we don't need to know everything, but they keep filling holes. And I'd rather not know anything about Balin's backstory, but they're going to tell us. You know,
I don't think they will in this one. I doubt because of the.
No, I think you meant in the future.
Well,
I mean, the popular character, they jump into it.
I think they might have fell into the trap if he was still alive to like have him do de-aging or something in certain things, and I just think they'll leave it alone now.
I mean, he said he was there and watched the temple burn, so he was there during Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know that he was. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just it would have been better if we never found out he had been there at Order 66 at the temple.
Well, he said, I want to stop the cycle. It just keeps repeating. So he's got his own motives. What's he going to do to stop it completely? Like, why? Like, the big question is, well, how does bringing Thrawn back stop the cycle? Like, why are you going to help get Thrawn?
Maybe he's not going there to get Thrawn. He just wanted to hitch a ride, man.
Well, he said something kept calling to him. And so we don't know what's calling to him.
Can Thrawn, I don't know the character. Can Thrawn use dark side forces or whatever? Because Thrawn might not be part of that.
Let's be real. We really don't know Balin's whole motives for doing this yet.
Yeah.
Which
Not
is
at all.
Thrawn could be the break of the cycle, and that's why he's helping that. That's why I'm asking if he's
because let's think about what Thrawn is. He's not a Sith, a rule of two.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you break the cycle, it's always the dark side rises, the light side rises, then it cancels it out. And so if he can break that cycle, then you have a ruler that's not the Emperor,
not a Sith.
But let's be honest. We already know what happens in Rise of Skywalker. They do bring back the Palpatine, so it happens all over again. So he's going to fail. Whatever he does, he's going to fail.
Yeah, but that's an intriguing thing, though. The ruler is not going to be a Sith.
Yeah, it's the dark side rise.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, basically, Thrawn is like Hitler, and so he's just a horrible, strategic military guy that just wants to destroy and rule, but he doesn't have force abilities, so he's not part of that cycle.
Balin found the Knights of Ren. Not that I want to happen.
I would love that if Balin founded the Knights of Ren, because that was the biggest miss in The Last Jedi, is not developing the Knights of Ren when we got a piece, that glimmer in the first film, and then they did nothing with them, and then they had to be crammed into the Rise of Skywalker and not be developed. We should have known. Dude, but again, it's kind of like if you hype up who the Knights of Ren are and you show Balin training them, even if they go with a different actor to play Balin later, and they create them, but then you see how punked out they get killed in the Rise of Skywalker, it'll be for nothing because they're not that badass. That's the thing that bothers me about a lot of it, is that they make even in the Star Wars Rebels cartoon or whatever, they made the Imperial Guards these really tough people, and then they suck in live action, and it just, I don't know. Same thing with the Praetorian Guards too. They made them out to be this great thing, and then they suck. So it's like
the Inquisitors are supposed to be scary, but
they suck too. They
were
get
cool.
killed too.
Mando season 3. Those Praetorian.
Yeah, until they were like jumping at the girders to try to get Grogu, who was flipping and walking on him. That was so cheesy. I just couldn't believe it that they punked out those guys, because it's the worst.
All right, let's see what else is here. Jacob McKenzie, thoughts on David S. Goyer says the head of WB wanted Leonardo DiCaprio cast as the Riddler in The Dark Knight. I don't think he would have done it.
He did say that, but he said, the whole point. I watched that whole thing; it was really great. David did say that, you don't cast based on like what Warner Brothers wants. It's what Christopher Nolan wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did say that he was pushing Jake Gyllenhaal for Batman, and that he even screen tested in the costume. And although we've only seen Cillian Murphy's audition and Christian Bale's audition, there is tape of Jake Gyllenhaal in the costume doing the same scene. And I would love to see that shit.
Mm-hmm. Jacob also says thoughts on Expendables. Earned $750K in its Thursday night previews with expectations 15 to 17 million. It didn't make that.
It made 8.2 million.
They beat the box off. The movie has a budget of 100 million. I think it's going to make some money some other ways on rental, VOD.
All right. Well, I'll just tell you.
International, maybe?
Well, it does well international, but I'll say this. Expendable 4s was shot in London, Bulgaria, Italy.
Italy.
So yeah, it was shot in Greece. And so they all have like Italy has a tax incentive of 30%. England has a 25% tax credit, and Bulgaria. The reason they're shooting in those countries, they've got. I think Bulgaria has a 25% tax credit, is because it's offsetting that $100 million.
And Jason Statham, like production crews with Jason Statham, they're probably like a well-oiled machine. They going all over the world. These action movies keep getting made with Jason Statham too. There's got to be a reason.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Meg stuff. I mean, even if the movie bombs in the U.S., it makes money overseas. It's not going to have a problem making that $100 million back at all. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it, but I don't almost feel like rushing out to see it in the theater.
I enjoyed it. I thought the action was.
I saw your review.
Yeah.
My only issue is just in the previews, there was so much blue screen and green screen. And I thought, oh my God, it really looks bad.
Megan Fox almost killed it for me at the beginning. She is so freaking annoying at the beginning. And then the rest of the movie, she's okay. But the beginning,
I just think about Brian Austin Green hammering that back. And I'm like,
I don't.
It's just like, I kept that clean.
Hey, if you're a fan of Megan Fox, there's some scenes in there you might like. Yeah,
okay. They did make the Knights of Ren comic books, which explained a lot of that. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. So it still would be cool if Balaam was part of it, but
Jacob, thank you,
dude,
Jacob.
This guy asked a lot.
No, they make the mailbag great.
Holy
crap.
The
mailbag great again. Thoughts on Dark Knight trilogy? Co-creator David S. Goyer wanted Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman. I would like it. Sure. But Christian Bale is amazing. Will they make a fourth Batman film? I don't think it's ever going to happen. I wouldn't want to do another Batman.
I'll say this: don't count Jake Gyllenhaal out as Batman, and I'll tell you why. Remember, Henry Cavill.
I think he would do it too.
Henry Cavill was runner-up to Brandon Routh for Superman Returns, and he didn't get the part. Bryan Singer went with Brandon Routh, but he was runner-up. So when they went to go do Man of Steel, the same casting director automatically went straight for Henry Cavill because she remembered him from the auditions and everything from the first time around against Brandon Routh. And then he ended up being the Man of Steel. So if Jake Gyllenhaal's already auditioned for Batman and David wanted him, and maybe he came in second, don't count him out for coming back again.
Mm-hmm. Man, the viewers are always all of a sudden going up. I changed the thumbnail and title once we got the new announcement, and that's helping with the viewers. So if you're just getting here, please thumbs up the video. I appreciate it. All right. So thoughts on David S. Goyer said he would put. I covered that. Sorry. Thought on David S. Goyer said they were pressured to build a cinematic universe complete with Marvel and Man of Steel. Yes, I still think it succeeded, even though people don't like BVS and Justice League. I think Zack Snyder accomplished the impossible with BVS. And I think people hate him for it because he was going to do, it was on his plan to do.
He made Superman boring.
Superman's not boring.
I'm kidding.
You bleed?
I just think about, no, it's not exactly real world, but I just think about what we would do if a Superman really existed. And it's exactly what happened in BVS. And some people don't see that. They would put him on trial.
That's exactly. So BVS is exactly what would happen.
Well,
Not
look
exactly
at all
what would
these
happen.
UFO. Look at this
No,
UFO
I mean, what-
stuff that's going on right now.
People
right?
will be protesting Superman.
People will be going nuts. Like, just think about this for 2 seconds. If aliens show their ass and go, yeah, those are our spaceships. We've been coming here for years. And guess what? Your gods don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We know everything that goes on in the universe. That would throw up so much chaos that people would just go nuts. And if you introduced a guy from another planet who's Superman, who literally not only could change like and save things, but could actually
They would
destroy.
try to regulate what
Dude,
Superman
they would
does.
try to figure out. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
And I love that aspect of those films. It's so, yeah, there's other stuff that's not plausible at all, but come on. If Superman really existed, people would, not everyone would be on, not a lot of people would not be on board. And Lex Luthor would be a hero in the real world.
yeah.
Lex Luthor would be a hero,
Mhm.
Damn it. Just kidding.
Sorry, she's playing video games next.
That's all right.
I really thought Nathan Fillion was going to play Batman in the Brave and the Bold, but they could do Bruce Wayne. They could
Get
do
that
Jake
save
Gyllenhaal.
point.
Thanks.
I'm having fun. But yeah, I think it was from pressure for Zach, and he actually accomplished it, and people hate him for it. They can't stop talking about how much
They just didn't like the movie.
No, they're I guess I'm like that
dude,
with The Last Jedi.
I will say the warehouse scene
It's
in Batman
amazing.
vs
Yeah.
Superman is the best Batman we've ever freaking had on screen. I'm sorry, that action
For action,
sequence
yeah.
is for action. It's the best.
I love the scene with Lex throwing a dinner party and Bruce meeting Superman and just talking to him, and they kind of know who they were.
Yeah.
Or Clark. And
did
then
you-
also Wonder Woman joins the party too. It was great.
I like when Batman with a heavily suited armor made to beat up Superman gets a sink and hits Superman with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
dude.
like that too.
It's great.
I like that. Yes. What else are you gonna do against this superhuman being? Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the kryptonite was wearing off and he catches Batman's hand. Oh,
Yeah, that was
dude,
cool.
That was so good. Yeah.
Okay, Warner Brothers saying we need MCU, we need our MCU. At one point, they pitched the next 20 movies the next 10 years, but none of them had been written yet. It was crazy how much architecture was built on air. It's not how you build a house. That's not Zack Snyder's fault. That's false.
No, again, I think and this has been said before, the turnover of all the studio heads for Warner Brothers it's like every season, spring, winter, fall, it was just they kept turning over, and everybody would come with their own ideas of what to do, and there was just too many cooks in the kitchen with all that stuff. And it's kind of like someone had made the analogy, it's like football. You need a coach, and you have to have a consistent coach, and it may take a couple of seasons, but you'll get it right. But if you keep changing coaches, the players they don't adapt to the new program. So you can't keep bringing in new coaches.
Ooh, Strange Marvel says the government is throwing aliens in their face to distract us from the terrible things they are doing. Maybe.
Could be.
All right,
They've
let's see
lied
here.
to us before.
Mass Vigilante. Which video game movies you can't wait to see in theaters, but if you're interested in any of them, what video game movie would you hope they make? Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Detective Pikachu 2, the Minecraft movie, Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem would be good. I'd be down for that.
I used to think John Cena wouldn't be good for it, but now after seeing Peacemaker,
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
no, he
God,
would
yes.
be good. He would be good as Duke.
but
Nukem.
that was before Peacemaker when they were saying him just when he started getting the movies, they're like, what about him for Duke Nukem? I'm like, nah. And then after seeing Peacemaker, I could see it.
What about Channing Tatum?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
could do it.
Dude, he's not working anymore. Like, what the hell happened? Is he just producing now?
I think he's like doing indie stuff. I don't know.
He did the last Magic Mike with Selma Hayek, which I didn't see that one yet.
Triple X.
Nobody
I
did.
mean, double XL or whatever.
I actually watched the first two. I don't care.
I saw the first one. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I like.
Yeah,
I like Steven Soderbergh. He's a good director.
The last one was the cash grab, because I think didn't he direct it? Channing Tatum directed the
Oh, he
last one
did.
because Soderbergh didn't come back.
They should bring back 21 Jump Street.
Channing Tatum should direct.
Dude,
John
I have
Cena
to
in a
say,
different movie.
I loved those two films, the
Yeah.
two 21 Jump Streets, and I didn't see them until about a couple of months ago. I went and we watched both of them back to back at my friend's house, and we watched the behind the scenes, the making stuff. Oh my God, hilarious.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And yeah, dude, that I wouldn't mind another one of those. But
I
don't think
actually
those
like
guys
the
would come
idea.
back and
You
do
know
it.
how you hear like all like Transformers and G.I. Joe, which is actually going to happen. But when they said 21 Jump Street crossovering with Men in Black, I was like, I kind of want to see that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
If they do a G.I. Joe, I don't want them to try to make it uber realistic. Just go crazy with the vehicles, make them just like the damn cartoon, and just have fun. And
Bring the lasers in finally.
yeah, bring the damn lasers in. And, they got to say, all the lines like
Darn you,
from the
perp.
cartoon.
Now I got to see how much a 4K of this is.
Oh, wait, did Bullet Train come out this year?
No, that was last year.
that
It
was
came
last
on
year.
Netflix though. Yeah.
I still haven't seen Free Guy, but I saw that's on Disney Plus right now.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Thoughts on thank you, Mass Vigilante, the Boys spinoff Gen V. I didn't look at the trailer yet. It looks pretty interesting. Focus on these young students of Twisted Sleeper College to be the next generation of I quote heroes. So if you like the Boys series, you're gonna I'm definitely giving Gen V a shot. Well, actually, I'm not taking the Gen V. Well, if I could, actually, would you take that shot? The give the superpower.
Well, I have a confession. I haven't seen The Boys.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah,
but it's extremely violent and extremely sexual.
It's just hard. It's just hard for me
and
to consume
sometimes
everything
mixed together.
Actually,
my wife checked out The Boys after one season. She's like, it's just too violent. I can't do it, especially when they mix the sex and the violence together, like weird stuff. But she's like, the story's great. The story's great, but she's like, and then the only thing that brought her back was Soldier Boy. She's a big fan of what's his name?
Jensen.
Yeah, yes. Jensen Ackles or whatever
Supernatural.
from Supernatural.
And that brought her back, and he is one of the best characters too. I love him. Yeah.
Then everybody's saying he might be the next Batman too, because they're trying to tie in the voice actors with the live action.
I think he started on Smallville back in the day.
Probably, yeah.
He's really come far.
Bring back Army Hammer for Batman.
He'll bite somebody.
Bring him back.
No.
It's time. He did his time.
No.
Thoughts on David Goyer reveals that he wrote an unproduced Star Wars. It was about 4 years ago. I also wrote a scriptment for Origins of the Jedi story that took place 25,000 years before the first Star Wars film.
Yeah, and now James Mangold's doing the 25,000 years prior.
Yeah.
So
they
probably
like the
part of
idea.
it.
They probably used his scriptment, which is basically a treatment, and said, "Hey, would you be willing to write this, James Mangold?" And maybe he's writing the script based on David's.
See, you're a fan of Jensen as well. Lots of ladies like Jensen Ackles.
Oh, dude, he's good looking.
Well, do you know the Supernatural conventions?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
They go nuts for that guy.
They went like how many seasons? Like 18 seasons or something. Sheesh.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
I heard it's great too.
I think I heard recently Tom Welling was talking about being at the audition for Smallville to play Bruce Wayne, and Jensen Ackles, he was the one up against him, and he got it over him.
Well, it's worked out for him now because Tom Welling doesn't have much of a career left. I mean, he still does certain things, but Jensen Ackles is like a rising star right now.
Yeah, I did a movie that I worked on a movie with Tom Welling and met him at a party, and he's super nice and he's big.
No, he seems like a great guy. I wasn't
tall.
Yeah.
Armie Hammer is a good actor. No, Anthony, I'm sorry, that's a bad take. He can't act his way out of a paper bag, but that's okay. You can have that
He
opinion.
can eat his way out of a few things.
Oh, Max, beer's hitting.
Yeah, he could sing too. Yes, I know all this. See, the fan base is rabid for Jensen.
Look at that.
I'm not saying you are
all his attributes being
So
listed.
we'll have that musical version. Of
there was
Batman.
musical episodes of Supernatural. Yeah,
That's brave and bold.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Perp's casting it. Okay. CJH Entertainment. What if DC does a Batman universe, a Superman universe, a Green Lantern universe, and then combine the three and make a crossover movie?
It worked for the CW pretty successfully, even though some of the writing wasn't that great. I mean, there's no the thing is, you'd have to be able to. There would have to be events, and this is where it gets into, like, if a building gets destroyed or there's big explosions, you have to be able to tie in that they recognize this shit's going down all over the place. Like, the Green Lanterns have to be able to understand that there's, like, if a city is under attack and Superman's defending it. I mean, that's the problem. Like, when you're watching some of these movies, you're like, well, where the hell's Batman when this is going down? Or where the hell's Wonder Woman when this is going down? You know, that's why I liked when Batman versus Superman did the perspective of Bruce Wayne watching the buildings get destroyed. When he was fighting Zod, and you saw, like, when Zod's eyes were cutting through the building, you saw it from his perspective when he was down on the ground watching the rays go through the building and saw it in half. You need to be able to, if you're going to tie all of them together, they have to do moments like that to let people understand that these characters were aware that this stuff is going down. It's kind of like Black Adam. Like, at any given point during Black Adam, it's like, well, I get that Superman showed up at the end, but where the hell was he in the Middle East when all this was going down, right? Like, why didn't he show up?
School.
Because the thing is, if Superman can fly up to space, close his eyes, and hear everything, all the voices, and then focus in on something to go down and save, why didn't he hear Black Adam destroying everything like he was doing? Like, where the hell was he? See, that's where they don't explain these things when they tie these things into these universes. That's why I would rather just get standalone movies that are separate instead of everyone trying to do cinematic universes. That's just me.
I agree. Mass Vigilante. Max, do you know this could be the 8th time in a row that the DCU is going to have another bombed film with Aquaman 2? Truly sad. Despite, how do you guys feel for some of these DC films? Good or terrible? The majority of normies audience basically see the DC brand as a nearly dead, disappointing superhero franchise. It's quite the opposite with Marvel. People see them like a shining beacon for the people. Not exactly anymore. It's
not this year.
And DC brand is nowhere. They have to win with Superman Legacy, or it's just over. Your thoughts? I think James Gunn capitalized on the time down, and he's a very intelligent man. I think he has horrible PR so far, and the only thing that's going to change people's mind is quality. And I think he's mapped out a lot of stuff, and he wants this to be. I think he doesn't even want Guardians to be his legacy. He wants this to be his legacy. This isn't Superman's legacy. This is James Gunn's legacy.
Well, and that's
James
the whole thing
Gunn's
about
legacy.
Just the title of Superman Legacy. I really hope it changes by the time the movie comes out, and that can happen, because.
Well, it's even bad PR because some people are like, well, the legacy would be letting Cavill continue.
Well, it's not just that. It's like a legacy is something that's built over time, but we're getting our first movie and our first look at a guy, and we're supposed to assume he's had a legacy to be able to say, I have a legacy to look back on. And like, for me, I can't wrap my head around the title. But I will say this about Aquaman 2.
Twitter.
Aquaman 2 may surprise people. And the only reason why I say that is because, look, Jason Momoa is a unique actor from the standpoint that, like,
everyone likes him.
He's got the Game of Thrones crowd that loves him as the Dothraki. He's got the Fast and Furious is now that, even though that movie wasn't exactly huge, he was the best thing about it. Yep. Everything he gets in is good as far as like his ability, even playing, the Aquaman character, whether it's with Zack Snyder or, the standalone film with James Wan, they like him. So, and if it gets a good release in China, even though they only get a small % of that box office, it could be a win. I think the movie will come in maybe around 500 million, and that actually might be okay. It still won't make $1 billion, but I wouldn't count out Jason Momoa. I just wouldn't count him out.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
All right. And then...
there's not enough people that hate Amber Heard that are not going to, that if they don't show up, it's not going to hurt the box office, because It's just not.
And CJH says questions and topics.
Correct.
Thank you, CJH. And you guys, CJH, Mass Vigilante, Jacob McKenzie, and Jade now. You've been making this mailbag fire. We have some great discussions from this mailbag.
Great conversation,
Let me get to the quote of the day. All right. Quote of the day 116 from Mass Vigilante. Action is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. And we can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace within ourselves and each other for that perfect paradise. I like that one, Mass Vigilante. Thank you. Make peace within yourself. Hey, Max, I hope you're having a great stream this Friday night. I was supposed to do this Friday night.
Oh, Max.
And so I was wondering,
4K.
What's the deal? Well, man, you got in my head, perp.
No one's doing. I just said no one's doing it, and you got it in your own head, and you want to do something no one else has done.
Well, I thought I was the only one doing that. Now I got to see how much a 4K Hellboy 2 is. Just like if they're making another video and say first.
I'll send you one. You let me know.
I just need the disc. I'll slide it right in there.
I'll send it.
Well, here's what I did, Sean. Did you see? Let me bring this out. Sorry. Now it's stuck.
Is that the one that had the Rays logo on it? Which?
I'm going to get Velcro, double side Velcro. You can't see it's green, and put it in there.
Yeah, dude, that's hot.
And then here's this tape is beautiful. The beautiful. I was attracted by the tapes with the logos and stuff.
That's
and
good.
Some of these projects, like 20th Century Fox, like they don't know. They're not going to get released like that. These are film history. People are all concentrating on the sealed beaches. I'm like, this is unique and interesting. But yeah, perp, look. It's a double-sided thing. I could put another disc on the other. Well, you can't see it because it's green.
4K with a VHS. I want one.
Well, only one in the world
I'll
exists.
take the lot, sir.
Only one in the world exists.
I know. You're the only provider of them. It's Hellboy 2. You can only get Hellboy 2.
Hellboy. Oh, I love Hellboy. Sorry.
I'll tell you what. I did a TV series with what's his name who played Hellboy, and he walked by me at craft service, and he's short. Like
Ron Perlman?
Ron Perlman. He was like really
right-wingers, anti-SJWs hate Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he goes off on Twitter, though.
Yes.
He does go off on Twitter. I like him.
Oh, I like him too. I don't care. Look, they go off on Twitter just as much as he does. Just the other side. It's just a mirror, you know? But yeah. I actually want to give the David Harbour one another shot. I
haven't watched it. Yeah.
I rented
There's some scenes that worked for me. Yeah.
The David Harbour one, the David Harbour one for me, after I watched the preview, knowing it's not Ron Perlman, felt like, you know, the Nightmare on Elm Street that was done that, you know, with what's his name?
Yeah.
I can't
Jackie
remember.
Earl, right?
Jackie Earl Ray or whatever his name was. It's like when I saw the preview and I tapped out. I haven't even watched either one.
You're lucky, man. That Nightmare on Elm Street is rough. That remake, it's probably the worst remake I've ever seen.
What I like that one.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not like I didn't watch the originals though.
Oh, okay. Oh, you never seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
I saw some of it. I have to go. Listen,
the original is good.
I try more things. I am trying to get into horror. Seriously, because my friends, like I am very open to new experiences, and I try to like things. Like just like Joe, Bruce, and Brea, and they got me back to the theater experience, and I was like, I love being at home and watching with my dogs. And now I can't wait to get away from my dogs. They're driving me insane.
That goes reciprocal too, because that went to me because you guys going to Flash, and I was like, all right, I'll go to the theaters again.
Yeah, and I got the A-list because of Joe. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot, and I never gave my review my 1 month of the A-list. AMC A-list is amazing. I could see as many movies as I want. I got my IMAX for the Creator next Thursday on my A-list. That's like a $20 ticket itself. It's $20 a month. I tried Movie Pass when it came out, and I
Yeah.
tried.
I don't know how long they're gonna. I think AMC is gonna go bankrupt. So take advantage of that as much as possible.
You made me sad. Well, I mean, I'm gonna go. Well, hopefully,
Based and
creator does good, and even though people are not looking, All right, so hey Max, I hope you're a good stream. So I was wondering, what's the deal with Charlie Cox on Daredevil Born Again, calling it Disney Plus scam? Charlie Cox didn't say that. The showrunner of the Netflix, maybe not even the showrunner, someone that worked on the Netflix series.
He was one of the writers. He called it a scam because when you change the title, meaning they call it Daredevil Reborn,
you can
cancel contracts and not pay people and start over with fresh. And what they do is they'll undercut everybody, but everyone will want to do the show, so they'll take less money. And that's what that's about.
Yeah, Charlie Cox
Disney has a history of doing it.
Yeah, which that's very revealing as to why they do reboots and stuff and all the time. It's that's another side of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did say, I hope they cover this because whenever you have a series go so long, the pay increases, right?
I get like the way my contract's structured for my union, every season of a show, you get a 2% increase for your standard of living. But if the show is retitled, it becomes a new show, even though it's the same show, they can drop back down to that original contract. So like you'll have a contract for a pilot, and then you'll have your regular contract for the rest of the series. So, a lot of times they'll say, can we just use the pilot contract for all of season 1? Cause we don't know if this is going to come back and we're going to do it. And that's what the UPMs will try to do with the unions and kind of muscle them and say, cause there's theatrical contracts, there's streaming contracts, if you can even go on SAG's website or the WGA and you can see all the rates. They're there about what people make and how much they make based on the contracts. They're all there. Public record.
All right. It's not connected to Netflix shows or more just director drama behind the scenes, like Marvel's director Nia DaCosta stating that Kevin stole her movie and forced the same Marvel formula into.
Where did he get that?
I don't
where
know
did they get that?
Nia DaCosta?
I don't know about that.
Didn't she direct the Marvels?
Yeah. And Candyman.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about there, Mass Vigilante. You'll have to clarify in the next mailbag. But I think that's where we're going to end it. I kind of want to ask Sean something behind the scenes real quick after. It's not a big deal.
I just want to say thanks for just letting me come on because I've had such a rough 24 hours or so. And I needed that mental break from,
love seeing you. Wish the best for you. Send our best wishes to you and your family.
Yes.
Thanks.
And glad you got to spend, time. You went out to see him. And all that time you said also during the strikes, now that it's winding down, that you got to spend time with your family and do things that's amazing time. So go check out Sean's channel. Mm-hmm. He's not very active on X much anymore, but go check out his channel. Posting great shorts. Go check out Perp, and we'll see you next time.